Ha Hello? This is Grim. This is Grim reaching to you on your phone. It appears that your extended car warranty has like run out or something. You want to extend it? Please. 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 Please, do you want to extend it? Yes. Okay, cool. Okay, nice intro, by the way. Anyway, that was so dumb, actually. But yeah, dude, it's like that's kind of the thing a little bit, where like specifically I kind of have to be a little bit like how do I put it? Like it's gonna be so weird. Specifically, it's so stupidly weird. Like, yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Like specifically, because like idol culture is so weird in specific. Like there's so many ways that you can actually like portray idol culture. And it's like, yeah. Sometimes you kind of have to be blunt about it. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes it's kind of like, yeah, it kind of works out. Sometimes it doesn't. And it's like, it's kind of a weird feeling because like, it's a matter of like getting like the right things, the things right, and getting like, I don't know, like the right medicine or something. Maybe that's kind of where I want to put it. Basically, oh gosh, it's kind of weird. It's like, yeah, like I'm gonna be real with you. It's kind of difficult to kind of like have like be like and make everybody happy to some level, because it's like I kind of have to make myself happy to some level as well. And that's kind of the thing, because it's like I kind of like went to bed yesterday when I was like, okay, yeah, I'm just gonna go to sleep, right? I'm just gonna go to sleep, and it's gonna be that exactly. And I was like, okay, yeah, well, I slept kind of okay, sure. And I was like, I was thinking to myself that it's like, okay, yeah, well, do I offer my heart basically to the entire world as what it is basically? And it's like, here's the thing, it's like offering my heart as it actually is, instead of like being shy about it. It's like, yeah, it's like I would be lying, like I would be being emotionally dishonest if I didn't tell you like specific certain things about like how I am actually. I was like, and it's because like mainly as a person, I kind of have discovered that it's like, yeah, I mean, certain things you kind of like do double think about them, but it's like at the same time, there's like emotions involved, so it's like you kind of have to balance things a little bit out, because like you kind of have to consider that it's like, okay, so how emotionally invested are you into a person, basically? And it's like, okay, is that emotional investment hurting you deeply because of like of a misunderstanding, or due to like a collision of ideas, really? And it's kind of like, yeah, that's kind of the thing a little bit when it comes to like when it comes to like certain aspects of idol culture, basically, because like the thing is, it's like, well, I don't know if I want to call it idol, or should I say streamer culture, because like let's be honest, it's like they're like streamers are just kind of like a way of saying uh yeah, I mean, being a streamer is kind of like saying I'm looking up to you, or like I'm watching you because you're kind of important or something like that, basically. And it's kind of like, okay, yeah, well, because of that, it becomes kind of important to be like it's kind of inevitable that people are gonna follow you if you kind of keep that kind of thing up a little bit. It's like it's kind of like a human reaction that is like, okay, I see something that I really like, so I'm gonna continue watching it. And because I'm gonna continue watching it, I'm inevitably going to be on a better position if there's enough people watching me, because I'm gonna get like social connections with the people that I kind of want, basically. And it's kind of like, if you think about it, it's a little bit selfish if you look at it from that perspective. That you do get something out of being looked up to, basically. But and it's a little bit selfish, but it's like a lot of people kind of accept it because it's like, well, yeah, there's mutual benefit from being in the circle within a community, basically, because like at that point you kind of share the skill sets, you share emotional bonds, you share like emotional health, you listen to people, you're kind of like getting things going. And it's like that's kind of the thing when it comes to like societies in general, that makes the social creature that is the human being to be a little bit more like, I don't know, it makes the social beast satisfied that you are not alone to some level, because like there's people who kind of who understand you on some level, not everything, but on some level. And that's kind of the thing a little bit, it's kind of like how I've been very vocal about like a couple of things that's like, dude, it's like the world is always changing, really. And the world is always changing because the world is full of people. And there's always going to be full of people who are going to stand up to do things the next day. There's going to be people who are going to do things tomorrow. And sometimes those things that they do tomorrow, they're going to be they're going to be places for people to be like, hey, this is great, actually. Like, this makes me happy, specifically, because again, like, for example, if you find the cure for something, they're gonna be like, hey, that's great, actually, you found the cure for something, let me team up with you because like you did something great to some level. I was like, okay, yeah, well, that's great, isn't it? It's kind of like a great feeling, but it's like, if you think about it, sometimes people don't really give a crap if you don't do anything important, basically. Really, it's like people don't give a crap if you're poor sometimes. It's like, yeah, people don't give a crap if you're unattractive. People don't give a crap if you don't have something of value to give and contribute to society, basically. And that's kind of the thing a little bit. It's like, what exactly does society want out of you, basically? It's like, do they want an artist? Do they want a musician? Do they want a doctor? Well, not a doctor, a medic? Do they want a lawyer? What do they want exactly out of you to some level? It's like, yeah, that's kind of the thing when it comes to like certain aspects where like well, all societies kind of want things out of people, really. And it's like, that's kind of the thing when it comes to like humanity, basically. It's like sometimes it's something as simple as they want your company, and sometimes it is like, oh, dude, you're kind of insane, actually. You have a certain skill set that is kind of insane. Therefore, it's kind of delicious to have it to your name, basically, because it's kind of like, yeah, well, damn, that's kind of insane, really. So on some level, I'm gonna be a little bit completely honest with you. It's kind of like a complicated situation, really, because it's like people always sing about, oh, that's so superficial, but at the same time, it's like, well, everything is superficial if you think hard enough. Really, it's like, yeah, to some level, everything is superficial. If you touch if you touch the skin of another human being, they have surface, so that's superficial if you think about it, basically. So yeah, that's kind of like the thing when it comes to like interaction with other human beings, because other human beings are going to be like, hey, yeah, turns out that I kind of really like this person because they're kind of like, they have a lot of attributes that I kind of really, really appreciate to some level, basically. And it's kind of like, yeah, well, that's kind of the thing when it comes to like confidence in general, really. That if you're confident of your skill set, you become like more attractive to people to some level. And it's kind of like, yeah, well, that's kind of the thing, isn't it? It's kind of like, yeah, like it's a complicated thing. Specifically, it's not always like 100% accuracy when we get exactly the things that we want, basically. But to some level, the only thing that you have left specifically is just gonna be like, hey, um, you kind of have to be a little bit more honest about yourself, basically, because if you don't, the world is gonna eat you up because they're gonna call you a liar. They're gonna call you like all those names, basically. So it's like, okay, yeah, you kind of have to be a little bit honest about where your heart is to some level, really. So that's kind of the thing, really, when it comes to like societies in general. That it's kind of like even in the most wholesome sense of like, oh yeah, my heart is for the people that I love or something. It's kind of like, yeah, to some level, they want you because of something, really. Like the existence of that has its surface, has its tension. A heart has a tension. A heart has a surface. A heart has all these things, basically. And that's kind of the thing, really. Like, it's complicated, really. It's a complicated feeling altogether to get the right solution, like to say the right things for the people that you care about. And it's like because of that, it kind of becomes this kind of thing where it's just like, yeah, you just kind of have to say things for yourself at that point, basically, because like you just cannot customize yourself to other people, really. Like you just cannot. It becomes impossible, especially in this kind of circle of work. Basically, it kind of becomes kind of crucial to be like kind of becomes necessary for you to kind of have some level of like self-respect, basically. Like it kind of becomes this kind of thing where it's just like, okay, yeah, well, you kind of have to say exactly what you're into, otherwise people are gonna hate you if you change your mind at some point, basically. I was like, yeah, well, that's kind of the thing, isn't it? It's like, are people gonna break you because like you got too much into a specific type of circle or whatever? Are people gonna hate you because you're not an otaku enough, or like what exactly, really? I was kind of like, yeah, that's kind of the thing sometimes that is like whenever there's people who are not authentic enough about their love for otaku culture, that's when we call them like reagers to some level, really, because it's like, yeah, well, they're kind of reagers to some level if they prefer something else besides like otaku culture, basically. And it kind of happens in like every single circle, and it's like it kind of got to the point basically where we're like if you observe other circles that you're kind of interested in, but not exactly too into, basically, you kind of end up just being like, yeah, well, it's time to be respectful for a little bit and just be like, hey, dude, like I really like, I like British culture to some level, but like if I don't get my dose of otaku culture, I'm gonna die. So it's kind of like, yeah, you kind of have to be a little bit like that, really. Whereas you're just like, yeah, like there's gonna be British otaku people, and they're gonna be like, "Hey, yeah, dude, that's awesome. That's great. That's a good feeling. That's insane." And it's gonna be like, yeah, they're gonna be rightful within their own mindset, basically. But it's also like this kind of thing where it's like, okay, yeah, well, not everything is welcome in a community that is always about like otaku culture, basically. Not everything. Like people who are not like how do I put it? People who get healed out of something else, basically. It's like you kind of like start noticing that it's like, yeah, well, how am I really happy that you get more healed by something else than otaku culture? I was kind of like, yeah, well, I'm not gonna be too happy about it, kind of, really. It is kind of like that basically. It's a complicated feeling when 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 the individual kind of like has to decide to see how you heal yourself to some level. And it is kind of like, okay, like how do you heal yourself? Do you heal yourself with like idol culture, or do you heal yourself with idol culture? And it's like, to some level, you kind of have to be like, yeah, I think I choose idol culture, not idol culture. It's kind of like that, basically. So it's kind of like, yeah, it's kind of like a difficult thing, but at the same time, it's kind of like, I don't think that it's too healthy to get too fucking like obsessed over it, because like I've actually had that discussion with somebody else about this, where it's just like, yeah, well, obsession kind of tends to lead you towards like self-destruction sometimes, because you kind of end up with people trying to claim them to yourself, and they sometimes claim you in different ways, basically. Because like this is something that I've very noticed about the American culture, like even in the media sphere of an American culture, and sometimes in the Japanese culture, and in Mexican culture it also happens. But it's just kind of like, yeah, well, we really appreciate your company, so we really need you to be branded as something that is a part of us, and something that is very difficult to get rid of. It's kind of like a more meaningful ritual to pass through, basically. And it's kind of like, yeah, well, that's kind of the thing. It's like it's not something that you must do to get like things going to some level, but it's just like, I'm the kind of person that I would prefer to not do something permanent to my body, because like if I do something permanent to my body, there's gonna be some point in time where like strategy to mobilize oneself becomes way more difficult, basically. And it's like, that's kind of like the whole problem with like American culture a little bit, that it's or at least like mainstream American culture, that they kind of have this kind of idea that it's like, okay, yeah, well, I must change myself as more permanently in order for me to kind of validate that I'm a part of this community or not, basically. As like in Japanese culture, it kind of happens a little bit similarly. In Mexican culture, it happens similarly to some level. And it's like they're kind of like subcultures where they're like, okay, yeah, well, I'm a part of this culture, if this is kind of exactly the kind of thing that makes you happy, basically. And it's like, a lot of the times the human condition makes it very difficult to kind of be on the right page on everything, basically, because like it just becomes very very difficult to make the right decisions when the world kind of sometimes even tries to force you into getting rid of your symbols, basically. It's kind of a weird situation, basically, because it's like sometimes the world itself does force you to get rid of your symbols, because they have enough money to sometimes strip you out of your soul and get you naked and make you die in a hole, because they just have enough money and influence to do it, basically. And that's kind of the thing a little bit. It's like, I think that that's kind of like the big problem of the American society, and how the American society sometimes forces other communities to get strip themselves out of their symbols for the sake of getting the freedom, the American freedom that they wish to get, but not necessarily the freedom of everybody else. Where it's like, yeah, well, it's a little bit hypocritical, because like they're kind of like, in a way, they're more similar to Mexicans and Japanese and British than the rest of the world. Like they're more similar to everybody in the entire world, and ironically, they're not unique anymore to some level. It's like the American freedom is slavery in some shape or form to some other world, basically. And it's like, and because of that, it kind of becomes this kind of thing where it's like, oh yeah, land of the free suddenly becomes this kind of thing where it's just like, okay, how exactly, if you're doing exactly the same thing that Mexicans even do, that's the same thing that Japanese people sometimes do, the same thing that British people sometimes do. And it's like, how exactly do you call that freedom in that level, really? It's like it kind of becomes this kind of thing where it's like, okay, yeah, well, freedom becomes kind of like very, very arbitrary plenty of times, basically, and it's just like, yeah, no, American people, you also do exactly the same thing that our Nazi people sometimes do. So, like, I don't know about you, but like, I mean, I'm not gonna say that I've lost respect a little bit towards Americans, a little bit, basically, because I kind of realized that it's like there's mafiosos in America that pretend to be the whitest pigeons, and it's like, fuck yeah, like apparently that's that. I mean, maybe I was a little bit too naive to notice it because I kind of like looked up to the culture to some level, but it's like the more that I kind of like the more I kind of understood American culture, the more I went like, yeah, there's good people in America, but there's also terrible people in America. They're kind of like looking to start shit for the sake of starting shit, and it's like, and they've gotten punished plenty of times because of it. Their own society gets punished basically, uh, and they call it freedom to some level. And it's like, yeah, well, that's not exactly freedom if you're forcing a Mexican out of the otaku culture because you decided to plant something or like take advantage of a bad situation. It's like, yeah, no, yeah, no, no, not exactly like a nice thing to do, exactly. So, to some level, I kind of just end up just being like, well, what exactly do you require otaku culture to be like, basically? I was like, yeah, well, you kind of have to like you kind of have to adapt to certain customs basically or like certain rituals to some level, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to adapt to a lot of rituals that kind of like leave permanent damage onto you basically, because at that point if they like, okay, I'm gonna leave it like this basically, where if if a community leaves permanent damage to you in a physical manner, they're not respecting you entirely actually, because like psychological aspects will stay with you forever and it's inevitable to some level, but physical aspects, it kind of shows that they're just trying to burn you out of possibility, out of freedom for you to make future choices basically. And like sometimes that's kind of the thing really when it comes to like a lot of cultures, that it's like you kind of do have to be a little bit, you know, like respectful to the community that you're a part of basically, by not leaving permanent damage in some shape or form. And it's like, yeah, like that's kind of the thing a little bit. It's like I'm in the camp where I would prefer to not leave permanent damage into the physical appearance of people, because that's kind of like a respectful way of saying, well, yeah, like your heart is kind of like a more, it's kind of like a more like your heart is a more distinctive way to show that you actually care about something than the symbols that you put in front of you, because if the symbols that you put in front of you, they're more of a shield against the entire world basically, and it's kind of like a forced segregation to some level. So yeah, that's kind of the thing a little bit when it comes to like a lot of like modern culture, that I feel like Americans really, really forced their like well, every country does this basically, but the Americans kind of forced it a little bit too hard sometimes, where they kind of forced people out of communities basically, and they literally did that in 2016 basically, where they wanted to force people out of communities, not because they really wanted, not because the people who were involved wanted to, but because like they just said, yeah, we're gonna force you out of this community because we don't want you here, basically, regardless of what the people that are there actually think, basically. And it's kind of like that's kind of like the thing, really. Like that's kind of like the thing that pissed me off a lot about 2016, basically, because it kind of forced this kind of push into far away into the roots that we actually are to some level. And it's like, and because it kind of pushed this kind of wave outside of the things that we actually liked and believed in, it kind of forced bad face onto the social bonds that we actually had with some people. And because it kind of pushed this kind of like bad water, it kind of made it a little bit apparent that it's just kind of like, yeah, well, the American elite are kind of like forcing bad waters with certain communities because they want these things to themselves to some level. And because of that, it's just kind of like, yeah, well, that's kind of the thing, isn't it? Is like, there's already a social bond that you want to raise it from us because why exactly? It's like it's a business that we can have with that zone. We don't really need to meddle with your zone in that regard. So why the fuck are we making the motivational kind of like circle of things, really? And it's kind of like, and at that point you kind of realize that it's just like, yeah, no, like in some shape or form, I kind of end up just being like, I don't think that all Americans are terrible people, but there are terrible people in America for sure. Actually, like there's god awful terrible people in America for sure. If they went out of their way to destroy Mexican otakus directly, basically, like they specifically targeted Mexican otakus, basically. And it's like because they targeted them specifically, it just kind of becomes the kind of thing where it's just like, okay, so what the fuck, really? Like, what's up with that? You said it, but Japan didn't say it. But why did you say it? Because we kind of needed to get something going. We needed to get the ball rolling in some shape or form, basically. That's kind of like, yeah, well, yeah. How exactly are we to react to some level? How exactly do you think that it's the right reaction, basically? And it's like the more that I kind of understand a little bit, the more I'm kind of like, well, yeah, probably this was probably because of the Abenomics, basically, and why people like really like kind of had a little bit of a kind of like complicated reaction to Abenomics themselves. Nobody was too happy about it, and Abenomics kind of like forced this kind of like distance onto social bonds that were already forged. So yeah, it's kind of weird specifically. So yeah, it's like in short, what I'm trying to say is like I don't want to start shit with otaku Americans, but at the same time, it's like I kind of have to realize that it's like some of them might be a little bit. They're kind of like an obsessed fan, and it's like their obsession caused a ruckus onto the community already. And it's like that's kind of the thing a little bit. It's like what exactly did we have to react after that, basically? What was the reaction to take at that point? I was like, yeah, well, we kind of have to like defend the healing that kind of makes us stay alive, don't we? And it's like, yeah, we kind of have to, basically. Like, I don't think we should be too lazy to not do anything about it, basically. It's like, yeah, well, I don't know. It's like symbols themselves sometimes really don't really matter. What really matters is the heart, basically. And it's like if the heart is the only thing that matters, it kind of becomes this kind of thing where it's just like, okay, yeah, okay, understood. We kind of have to defend this because otherwise our heart is gonna go into the trash, basically, and we're gonna die as a consequence. So you know what? We kind of have to defend it, basically. From a Mexican otaku, like from a Mexican otaku perspective, I kind of have to be like, yeah, well, I guess I kind of have to defend it. Otherwise, I'm gonna die. if I don't defend this shit, I will literally die of motherfucking psychological wounds. So fuck my life, I guess. Really. So that's kind of the thing a little bit, you know? It's kind of like I don't think it's not every American otaku is at fault. Definitely not. And a lot of and it's more like a thing of like, okay, who is not actually an otaku in this circle that is benefiting from all of this, basically. As like, this is not an American or Mexican or Japanese thing. It's more like an individual thing that benefited from all these things, basically. And it's kind of like, okay, yeah, well, so it's more of an otaku culture kind of thing, basically. It's kind of like, okay, yeah, otaku culture is like, yeah, we're gonna have our dragon pit fights or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Like, it's okay, basically. But it's like, when it comes to like people who are from the outside that got benefit out of it because they just wanted something juicy out of it, it's just kind of like, I mean, yeah, no, no. Like, it's kind of like another type of thing where you're just like, nah, 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 nah. Nah, 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 no, no, nah, 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 nah. I'm gonna, nah, nah. So that's kind of the thing a little bit, and it's kind of like why I kind of like realized that it's like because Pokemon become mainstream to some level. That's where shit started hitting the fan. I feel. I feel like the main reason why everything went to shite was because Pokemon became mainstream. Like, actually, like I'm starting to think that that is probably the main problem. It's like, yeah, Hello Kitty is kind of like mainstream a little bit, and it's kind of like, yeah, Hello Kitty, whoo, kind of cute, kind of soft, kind of whatever, you know. It's kind of like, yeah, sure, whatever. But Pokemon became too fucking mainstream, and it started like affecting everybody basically as a consequence, because it's like, yeah, we kind of have to certain levels of otaku culture that it's like, no, it's like everybody loves Pokemon. Let's be honest, like everybody got Pokemon Go and everybody loves Pokemon. So basically, so just because you like Pokemon, you kind of become an otaku. And it's like, some people kind of argued yes, some others went like, no, that's a Ryaju. That's an initiate to some level. I was like, okay, yeah, well, it's kind of the same thing where it's like, if you're a Mexican and you like Dragon Ball, it's like, it doesn't mean jack shit, basically. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, okay, you like Dragon Ball and you're Mexican? Oh, how Mexican of you. And now, if you want to be an otaku, tell me your favorite anime that is not fucking Dragon Ball, okay? Tell me your favorite anime that is not a shonen anime. Okay, go. Okay, you said it. Okay, cool, awesome. There you go. Okay, maybe you have some kind of leverage at that point, and you're kind of like, okay, we kind of fucking with that a little bit. We're kind of fucking with that. I see an ass. I see an ass going eehaw, and I'm kind of approaching it slowly as I kind of grab it, and I'm kind of like, man, that's kind of great, but it sure does know what to watch, actually. And it's kind of like, okay, yeah, cool, okay, understandable, respectable opinion about that kind of shit, you know. And it's kind of like, yeah, that's kind of the thing when it comes to like a lot of things where like me as a person, I just kind of like sit down a little bit and I kind of had to be like, okay, should I be respectful to other Mexicans to be like, hey, you can be an otaku? I was like, probably, but it's like, I kind of have to be a little bit like, okay, if you like Dragon Ball, that doesn't count. Basically, if you like Pokemon and if you like Dragon Ball and you're Mexican, that doesn't really count as an otaku, in my opinion. Basically, you kind of have to be a little bit more, you know. Or it's like, okay, or it's like, okay, maybe you continue watching the new Dragon Ball, and it's like, okay, fine. Maybe we kind of can play a little bit about it, but you're kind of like pushing it, you know. So like, I mean, yeah, I get a little bit more. I mean, it's not a green flag for me to kind of like be like, hey, you're an otaku, you know. But it's like, yeah, like you kind of like start pushing it. It's like, okay, if you're too obsessed with Dragon Ball that you've seen everything and you have all the manga of Dragon Ball, then it's like, okay, maybe you kind of have a little bit of validity, but Pokemon is like everybody loves Pokemon, you know? It's like everybody fucking loves Pokemon because it's like, okay, everybody has played at least something that is a Pokemon in your cell phone, in your fucking like, I don't know, emulator. Well, actually, emulators is kind of like a step up if you think about it, but it's like, yeah, if you think about it, it's like everybody has played Pokemon in some shape or form. So it's like, because it's too fucking mainstream, it kind of becomes this kind of thing where it's just like, okay, yeah, no, you don't really want to call them an otaku, but you also want them to explore a little bit. So they actually like something in particular. So yeah, kind of that makes sense. But please kind of like invest yourself a little bit more so we can actually figure out what is actually happening. And it's like, yeah, well, yeah, like I don't know. That's like I'm the kind of person that is like, I just don't have enough time. And I've been having too many restless nights to the point that I'm like, dude, I wish that I had time for like Sentai things. I wish that I had time for drawing, and I wish that I had some time for studying, for reading, to getting inspiration, streaming. And it's like sometimes there's just not enough time. Sometimes it's kind of like the tragedy of the human condition, basically. Where it's just like, oh my fuck. Why don't I have enough time to finish Steins Gate? I wish that I had enough time to finish Steins Gate or Air or whatever the fuck, but I just don't. I have to stream. And it's like, dude, I like, there are some times where I wished that I could stream Air. Like, actually, legit. I don't think that I can stream it. I don't think, wait, actually, can I? Give me a second. Give me a second. No, not the movie. Uh, okay, so it is on YouTube, but it's a Let's Play. Uh, okay, maybe it is time for me to play it. Actually, like legit. Oh, okay, whatever. But you know what I mean. You know what I mean exactly. It's just like, I don't know, dude. Like, it's complicated. Okay, be right back. I'm gonna go get a drink. But yeah, like, dude. Okay, be right back. Okay, cool. Whatever. I'm back. Oh, God damn it. God damn it, dude. I don't know. I don't know what to do. Honestly, like, I legit have no idea what to do. But yeah, we'll probably start the game in like 20 minutes if you're waiting for that. So yeah. So yeah, in some level, that's kind of the thing, really, that as a person, you kind of have to be a little bit like I guess me as a person, I kind of have to defend the things that actually keep me alive. Actually, it's like if I'm the owner of a farm, I kind of have to defend the fact that that farm feeds me. Basically, I was kind of like, yeah, well, otaku culture does feed me, basically. So it's like, well, what exactly am I gonna do if that thing goes away? Basically, it's like I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die of mental starvation. Basically, it's like, okay, people can try to change me or whatever, but it's like, no, I tried, and it's like, nope, that thing is otaku culture is the thing that actually keeps me alive. That is legit the only thing that keeps me alive. Well, that keeps me happy to some level, and it's like, yeah, well, that's kind of the thing, isn't it? It's like, yeah, really. Not gonna deny it. I'm not gonna pretend to be like, hey, this is awesome. It's awesome that I wasted my life or whatever. But it's like, to some level, it's like some people are gonna be like, oh yeah, what a waste of life or whatever. And I'm over here thinking, dude, it's like I had the greatest time. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. It's like I kind of have to realize a little bit that it's like probably I should educate myself in in things of actual of real materialistic value in this reality, basically. But at the same time, I kind of have to be a little bit of like, yeah, well, I kind of care, really. I kind of have to like continue like doing what I do. Like I kind of have to keep streaming for me to kind of like stay like for me to stay happy to some level, And it's kind of like, yeah, well, that's kind of the thing, isn't it? It's like I kind of have to basically just be like, dude, like you're gonna have a tough time. Like everybody's gonna have a tough time figuring out if otaku culture is the thing that keeps them alive or not. Especially because like I'm older. I'm an older person basically, and it's like I'm older than 10 years ago. Than like motherfucking like whatever. Basically, I was like because I'm older than 10 years ago. You're talking about 10 years of otaku. Well, no, at least 20 plus years of otaku culture is like to some level you're gonna have to be a little bit like, yeah, nah, like you're not like I can pretend to be into other things, but no, like this is the only thing that I kind of give a shit about, basically. It is like, yeah, yeah, that's kind of the thing a little bit. That's the only. This is the only thing that I kind of give a shit about. To like an emotional and psychological and spiritual level. I guess that's the only thing that I kind of give a shit about. So it's kind of like, yeah. So it's kind of like, yeah. Well, am I going to strip my soul, brain, and heart because some fucker did an online campaign in 2016 to kick out all the Mexican otakus out of the internet and even out of existence? And to that, I'm gonna have to say like, dude, fuck off, dude. At that point, I have to be honest about it and be like, dude, fuck off. Like, nah. Sorry, dude. This is literally the food for my soul and existence. So much that I ended up making a philosophy and studying a little bit of psychology to kind of understand the high level of psychic wounds that were inflicted onto me, basically. I was kind of like, yeah, well, I kind of have to learn Japanese at this point. Ja- Japanese with a Y, basically. Japanese. I kind of have to learn how to talk it at this point. I guess inevitable. I should have done it like 10 years ago. I was in the process of doing it, but I got a little bit too sad because of 2016. Basically, it was so fucking tragic. It was sad. It was the saddest moment in my entire existence where I was like, oh dude, this sucks. This legit sucks. So yeah, to some level, I kind of have to be like a little bit I kind of had to stem my foot down and be like, dude, like, yeah, no, I kind of ended up just taking the lead and taking as many punches as I need to in order for me to kind of like to be like, hey, yeah, I guess I kind of care about it, and I care about the people that care about this shit, basically. So that's kind of the thing, a little bit. Do I care about other aspects of other cultures? Yeah, definitely. Like, I'll be like, hey, Top Gear, very nice, or like Top Gear, very nice, or like Top Gear, very nice. Like, I don't know, it's like, or like, or I don't know, some random chef cooking like ants in the ground or whatever, and calling it gourmet, maybe. But it's like Top Gear, very nice, and that's about it, basically. Like, if I'm completely honest with you, or maybe some narrations from some people, and it's kind of like, okay, that's kind of nice, that's kind of winning in its own right, very nice, basically. But it's like, it's like some aspect of symbolism and culture, yeah, definitely. But if I had to compare that to the Japanese interpretation of everything, I'd be like, I have to be respectful to British culture and be like, dude, it's like Japanese culture like has been in my fucking, it has been in my fucking heart for who knows how long, basically. I was like, yeah, no, it's kind of it's kind of my life at that point, really. So yeah, when it comes to like cultures, it's like one kind of has to understand that it's like, yeah, it's people as well. Like, cultures are people. If the people are dead, it's a little bit less meaningful, but it kind of cares still. So it's kind of like, yeah, it is exactly that. It's like you can get rid of people out of a show. You can get rid of people out of like something. You can get rid of people out of a formula. But it's like, if we're honest, like, if people were completely honest about their feelings about and honest about their logic as well, I feel like the world would be like a little bit of a more stable place. I wouldn't say that it's a better place, but it would definitely be more stable to some level, basically. Because we would actually know who's into what exactly, and if we know exactly who's into what and where they want to go, a life living through purpose becomes much easier, because then you know exactly where you're going at that point, basically. And it's like, yeah, that's kind of the thing a little bit when it comes to like living with purpose. It's like you kind of have to know where you're going in order for you to have purpose in some regard, basically. And it's kind of like, yeah, well, if your entire existence it's to see weep shit, or like otaku culture, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, or like yap, yeah, or like see Cowboy Tanaka in a onesie, is like, I don't know, dude. I don't know, dude. It's kind of like this kind of thing where you're just kind of like, yeah, kind of works, doesn't it? You kind of love it. You kind of love this shite to some level, basically. I was like, yeah, I mean, definitely, like, let's be honest, the American culture was way so influential from the 80s to like the 2010s, I want to say. Like, from the 80s to the 2010s, they were deeply influential, actually. Like, around, like, okay, actually, ironically, the American culture was deeply influential since starting the 70s towards the 2016. Ironically, yeah, it's like 2016 feels like the descent of everything. Like, unironically, I don't want to shit on the American people, but it does feel like the American culture descent happened around 2016. It's when everything went to shit, basically. And it's because a weeb wanted more weeb shit to themselves, or like a group wanted more weeb shit to themselves, and prevented from reaching the hands of other people, basically. because let's be honest, that's kind of what it is basically. Like that's legit the only reason why there's even chaos, because like the elite wanted specifically this culture for themselves, or a specific circle of elite wanted that culture for themselves basically. So it's like, yeah, to some level you're gonna have to be a little bit like, yeah, it sucks to some level, and you're gonna have to defend it, otherwise you fucking die. So like, yeah, I mean, so yeah, it sucks, man. It fucking sucks. You legitimately have to stand up to yourself and defend the things that you actually enjoy. Otherwise, like, people are gonna force their ideas onto you, and those ideas are a lot of the times things that you don't give a shit about, basically. Or it's like or sometimes you do end up giving a shit about it to some level. But even if you do, you still want the food for your soul, basically. So it's kind of like, yeah, it's weird, but it's basically complicated. It's a complicated feeling altogether. Yeah, it's so goddamn tough. So freaking tough, dude. So yeah, in short, what I'm gonna say is like, yeah, I mean, to some level, I kind of have to offer my heart to the community, basically, because it's like, yeah, well, I kind of have to be respectful to other cultures and be like, hey, British people, you're cool, but like, dude, if I don't eat Japanese food, I'm gonna die. So, uh, like, thanks, and keep pulling out old British men into, I don't know, keep pulling out old British men that actually have like substance or something. I don't know. It's kind of a very British thing to say, to be like, that's quite lovely, isn't it? And like, that's a lovely gentleman that we're here, even although that he's in a fucking speedo with like with his junk out, but like, oh god, what can we do? But yeah, basically, what I'm trying to say is just like, I mean, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna try to be more respectful to cultures within their own context. And it's like, okay, if I'm gonna be respectful to like American or British culture, I have to be like, Americans. I'm gonna have to slap a bitch if you actually kind of like demotivate Mexican otakus again. Like, for fuck's sake, come on. And also, I'm gonna be like, hey, British culture, that's cool. Like, you do some cool shit from time to time. That's cool. That's insane. But it's like, I have to be respectful and be like, dude, like, yeah, I'm literally just playing weeb games at this point. Is League of Legends a kind of a weeb game, or like, to some level? Some people would say maybe. Some people would say probably maybe. To some level, maybe to some level. And yeah, uh, maybe. Who knows? Okay, but yeah, it's like, just because, I mean, because I'm sitting in a camp basically of. I mean, I'm literally sitting in a camp on my own where I'm just like, yeah, well, yeah. Yeah, it's like tough. It's like honestly very, very fucking tough. It's like, I guess in some level to the community, we kind of have to be a little bit honest and be like, dude, Pokemon is like too mainstream at this point, and that's kind of the problem. You know, it's like, yeah, it's too mainstream. Like, you can have the normiest of normies and be into Pokemon, and be into Pokemon Rule 34, and having a Vaporeon make one of the funny faces, and still be a normie for some fucking reason. I was kind of like, that's crazy to think about. Actually, it's like you can literally have a Vaporeon plushie full of mayonnaise inside of it, and still be a normie to some level. You know how that crazy that sounds? Like that's insane. Actually, that's like that speaks volumes over how mainstream Pokemon became. Actually. So yeah, that's kind of the thing a little bit. It's just uh, it's complicated. It's a very very fucking complicated thing, and I feel like the rest of the world didn't like that Pokemon became too mainstream, basically. So yeah, that's kind of the thing. It kind of becomes this kind of circle where we kind of have to produce our own things, basically. Because like, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, Japan as well. Like there's always going to be shit. Like there's always going to be something that we're gonna end up fighting each other for whatever fucking reason. It's like, okay, an idol, like whatever the fuck, or this idol, or whatever idol, or like the Americans starting wanting some Japanese coochie for themselves, or like whatever the fuck. And it's like you kind of have to be like a little bit like, oh god, okay, well, to some level, I guess we kind of have to make like more subculture of kind of like similar things, but like a little bit different, basically, because it's like it becomes a little impossible. And it's like to some level, I kind of understand. I kind of give praise that Code Geass exists, basically. It's like Code Geass exists for a reason. And it's like it's kind of a good thing that Code Geass exists for a reason. And it's kind of a good thing that Super Sentai exists to some levels and so many branches and so many interpretations of it. Because at least you give like social circles the ability for them to kind of like a bond over the things that they actually enjoy, and and that continues basically. And back in the 90s, 80s, Mega Man was a thing, and people bonded over Mega Man. They were like, dude, pew pew lemons. And in the 2010s, people bonded with Mega Man with pew pew lemons, basically. And it's like after that, it kind of becomes this kind of thing where it's like, okay, we're gonna revive Mega Man with Mega Man 10, Mega Man 9, Mega Man 10, Mega Man 11, Mega Man 12, and it's gonna be like, oh yeah, well, damn, okay, awesome. I really enjoy Mega Man. Oh, I actually get to experience what it was to be a child in the 80s or not or 90s. What an amazing thing. Oh shit. Why is Mega Man dancing in a stripper pole with a wad of cash while another guy is just playing with another Japanese woman's nipples inside of a dancing like circle, inside of like a goddamn like stripper like parlor or whatever the fuck you want to call it. And then you're kind of like, oh shit, okay, that's kind of a very Japanese actually. Not entirely sure if I'm into that, but okay, fine. That's kind of your thing, I guess. Maybe, kind of. I don't know. So it kind of becomes this kind of thing where it's like otaku community. I'm gonna be real with you. Do we actually want everything that Japanese culture has to offer? Do we actually want everything that American culture has to offer? Do we really want? I mean, we definitely don't want a lot of shit. I mean, with Mexican culture, it's like, Mexican culture is full of riaju. Actually, like, I'm gonna be real with you. It's like, or too many closet otakus. Basically, it's like either we're well, yeah, yeah. Mexicans are kind of like high masking. Actually, I don't know how to put it. We're high masking sometimes a little bit, or maybe like I don't know. It's like I don't know if we're too simple or we're high masking. I don't fucking know. That's like I don't fucking know actually. And it's like, maybe I'm not supposed to know, basically. It's like American people are like, yeah, well, they're stupid Americans. And it's like, yeah, well, whatever. It's like every society has high masking people, basically. Every society has high masking people. That's the reality of things. Like, it's like, to some level, I kind of have to be a little bit like, yeah, well, I kind of have to be like, I don't know, what kind of person do I stand myself as into the public, and I have to be like, dude, I'm a filthy otaku. What the fuck do you want from me? What you want me to fucking draw you as a goddamn cute anime maid? Okay, bend over. Then maybe I'll do it. Jeez, I'm actually kidding. I'm actually fucking kidding, by the way. But like, yeah, like honestly, like, yeah, it's tough, man. It's really tough. So yeah. So yeah, hopefully I get to sleep better. But it's like when the kind of the message that I want to end this kind of like, yeah, like Satsudan yap session, whatever you want to call it. It's, dude, like my heart belongs to fucking, yeah, like I guess my heart belongs to Japanese rice fields to some level. And it sucks, actually. Like, my fucking heart belongs to the right, well, not literally to the rice fields, but it's like to some level, I kind of have to be a little bit like, it's no longer welcome to the rice fields, motherfucker. It's, just stop pretending that you're getting into the rice fields. Stop pretending that you're in. You're literally fucking. Your head is inside of the fucking rice field already. The rice. You're literally like the rice paddy at this point. Like, why the fuck do you have to pretend that you're not exactly that. You're not a fucking otaku at that point. It's like, you think that Dragon Ball is fucking normie? You think that motherfucking Pokemon is normie? You think that people who have not played a visual novel themselves and appreciate it, they're kind of normie? Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah, at some point I kind of have to be a little bit like, yeah, probably. Like, I'm in too deep, actually. I'm in too fucking deep. Like, in that culture. And it's like, yeah, well, fuck me, dude. What do I do specifically? It's like, it is what it is. It's like there's like an emotional response out of whatever the fuck is happening. And it's like, because there is like, okay, yeah, well, kind of have to care about this shit because I care about it. And it's like, I have to care about it in higher levels. So I kind of have to invest myself even further into this shit. You know, it's like, oh shit, oh no. I guess I've become Cowboy Tanaka, plower of rice fields, harvester of what? Harvester of what? Harvester of normies, I guess, involuntarily, but it's like, not intentionally, definitely not intentionally. Just to be clear, not intentionally. Because, like, dude, I don't know what the fuck is happening in the world. Like, I'm just trying to play my fucking visual novels. Like, literally, that's the only thing that I'm doing. It's like, I'm playing my visual novels. I'm playing my fucking video games. I'm jerking off to anime too. I'm like, I'm watching some Japanese lady getting pounded by some sausage, and you're gonna tell me that I'm not in some animal videos. And I'm like, dude, it's like, at some point I just have to be honest about it and just be like, yeah, no, like, like, you know, like, what the fuck do I tell you, dude? What I used to literally you know what I fucking used to do? I used to go into the gym listening to motherfucking like Japanese inspired music. Well, actually, it was a little bit like okay, I'm gonna be real with you. Cantonese people have tried to get into the otaku circle for like the longest time a little bit. I was like, yeah, it kind of has worked, but it's like not exactly the same culture. So it's kind of like, yeah, I kind of like ended up just like working out to things that either have been made by otaku culture or inspired by otaku culture, so they become part of it as a consequence to some level. I was like, to some level, you kind of have to be a little bit like, yeah, dude, like, what the fuck do I do at that situation, dude? What the shit do I do? Do I pretend that everything is gonna be bad? And it's like, oh yeah, it's too terrible that otaku culture is expanding to such heights that everything is otaku culture. And it's like, well, fuck me, I guess. Jeez. Fucking sucks, man. Like, dude, what the fuck do I tell you? You know? It's like, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Anime 2 doesn't do it anymore. You wanna know why? Because I need something more Japanese. It's like, yeah, that's weird, isn't it? It's kind of like, oh yeah, I need something more otaku. I need that real otaku, basically. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, you kind of need one of those, basically. I was like, yeah, no, anime 2 doesn't do it anymore. It was like, you kind of have to do it. Like, it's like, if the girl does not spew nonsense about their favorite, if your girl doesn't spew nonsense about their favorite, like, game slash how do I put it? Game slash animation slash like building kit slash like music. I'm gonna consider that as a rotten meat at that point. I'm gonna consider that as like motherfucking meat that has been that is unsavable at that point, basically. So it's kind of like, yeah, to some level, you're gonna have to be a little bit like that. It's kind of like if your coochie does not smell like like a motherfucking visual novel, I don't want it. Basically, if your coochie doesn't smell like motherfucking like some kind of fan, well, if you yeah, you know what I mean. But I'm gonna leave it at that. Basically, you know, it's like, yeah, exactly. That's just what it is. Okay, let's begin the game. Okay, what the frick? Okay, cool. Okay, awesome. We're gonna start the trial. Okay. Continue. Okay, so skills. Lost in thought, charisma. Requires 4 fragments. Oh shit, I really need to get okay, I need to get more friendship points or whatever the fuck, I guess. So let's begin by seeing skills. Well, no, the handbook. So we need to read everything a little bit. Okay. So before we start the trial, we have to go through everything. The victim is the ultimate tennis pro, Ryoma Hoshi. The victim's body was discovered in the gym The cause of death was drowning. Afterwards, the victim body was consumed by piranhas until only the bones remained. Locked handcuffs that were in the water tank for the underwater escape act. Since it was made out of stainless steel, it was difficult to leave any marks, but small scratches were still visible. It seemed to have been taken out of the shower room in the Ultimate Tennis Pro slabs. A square glass pane that was at the bottom of the piranha tank where Ryoma's body had appeared. The only bits of glass were shattered, but this pane remained perfectly square. The piranhas that ate Ryoma. Before the magic show, Angie said it looked like there were more piranhas compared to when she prepared for the show the night before. Okay, so Angie was aware that happened. The water tank that had the piranhas inside, it was kept in the Ultimate Magician's lab and was carried over by Kaito, Kibo, Himiko, and Angie. Okay, Kaito, Kibo, Himiko, and Angie. Kaito, Kibo, Himiko, and Angie. During the magic show, it was hung over the water escape tank using a control panel for the stage lights. Only the front side was made out of glass. The other sides were made out of wood. It looked like there was no lid from the start. The window frame of the top window in the gym, it had distinct abrasions as if it was scratched by something. The wet staircase, behind the stairs that led up to the stage, there was a puddle. The stairs themselves were not wet in certain places. It doesn't seem like the stairs could have gotten wet when the water tank broke. Okay, and we know that this kind of tank has a little bit of a gate for you to get out of it. The night before, okay, insect meet and greet. The night before, Shuichi and some of the others were forced to stay in the Ultimate Entomologist lab by Gonta, who was tricked by Kokichi. Himiko and Angie were brought in 5 minutes. Okay, Himiko and Angie were... Okay, I have to write that down, actually. Okay, I need a card. Okay. Okay, let's see. Okay. Himiko and Angie were brought in 5 minutes. So at 8:55 p.m. Kokichi left the lab at 9 p.m. Okay. Shuichi and the others were forced to participate in the insect meet and greet until after 11 p.m. Shuichi and the others were forced to participate. Okay. So it was... Okay, insect... meet and greet at 11 p.m. Okay, so it was Shuichi, Gonta. What's the name of this guy? I forget his name actually. Kokichi, okay, yeah, Kokichi. So Kokichi. Okay. Okay, so Shuichi, Gonta, Kokichi, Kibo. I forget the name of this guy as well. Korekiyo. Okay. Gorekiyo, Denko, and this girl that I forget her name as well. Fuck. Tsumugi Shirogane, okay. Let's just call her Shirogane. We're at 8 p.m. After that, Angie and Himiko arrived at 9:50 p.m. Okay. Well, 8:50, 55. Okay. So yeah, Himiko and Angie arrived 5 minutes until, well, before 9 p.m. And then apparently, yeah, it's like what is it called? Kokichi left from 9 to 11 until he returned because apparently like Toko was like holding him up a little bit. Gonta's account. During the magic show and when the timer hit 20 seconds, Gonta went on top of the stage. No one was in the tank during that time. Gonta didn't notice Ryoma inside the tank until after the piranhas were released. Immediately after Kokichi left the Ultimate Entomologist lab at 9 p.m. last night, he was caught by Kirumi in the entrance hall. He stayed with her until 10 p.m. So yeah, that's kind of the thing. Okay, so then from Kirumi 10 p.m. Okay. After we went to the dorms and returned to the Ultimate Entomologist lab. Okay, then he returned at 11. Okay. 11 p.m. He saw the figure of a girl in the lingerie walking around the courtyard a few times. Water tank trick. Maki was alone. So yeah, Maki doesn't have an alibi for anything, basically. Witnessing Ryoma. The last person who saw Ryoma was Gonta. It was around 8 p.m. Ryoma also saw, well, Miu also saw Ryoma 30 minutes before that. So it's like, okay, so at like around 7:30, so around 7:30, Miu saw that Ryoma was alive, basically. So Ryoma is alive at 8 p.m. 7:30 by Miu. So before Gonta went and catched a lot of people, Ryoma was still alive. So the possibilities that Ryoma was killed in that time frame increases, basically. The sink in the Ultimate Tennis Pro's lab. It looked large enough to fill a good amount of water into it. There were small scratches on it as if it was scraped by something. Found on the ground of the Ultimate Tennis Pro's lab. The tennis net cable was properly set up when Shuichi came to the lab the first time around, but the wire had been taken out later. The wire was around 50 feet in length. Okay. Okay, so this is kind of gonna come into play. A piece of the fabric that was floating in the pool. At first glance, it looked like trash. Entering the pool is prohibited during nighttime. Okay. Okay, we revised all the evidence. Cool. Okay, let's... Okay, we're on mean difficulty on both. Let's start this crap. Okay, everybody fucking rise up.
ではでは、最初に学級裁判の簡単な説明をしておきましょう。学級裁判では誰が犯人かを議論し、その結果はお前らの投票により決定されます。
Okay.
正しい黒を指摘できれば黒だけがお仕置きですが、もし間違った人物を黒としてしまった場合は、黒以外の全員がお仕置きされ、生き残った黒だけが最終学園から卒業できます。
Right.
ちなみに、必ず誰かに投票してくださいね。投票しない人には死が与えられちゃうんだからね。というわけで、テンションバリバリクレイジーマックスな学級裁判の開幕だよ。
Right.
まあ言うまでもないけど、今回の事件で明らかに怪しいのは、
みんなで力を合わせて頑張りましょう。
明らかに怪しいのは、
さあ気合を入れていきますよ。絶対に犯人を見つけましょうね。
ショーの最中に殺人が起きたってことは、それを開催した張本人である
天子選手は気合十分ですよ。
Denko, shut the fuck up.
田柱ちゃん、なんで邪魔するの？これじゃ話が進まないよ。
ああ、邪魔なんてしてないですよ。それに、どうせろくでもない話でしょ。思春期の男子なんて感触の話しか。怪しいのは卑弥呼だよね。
Thanks, Angie. Thanks, Angie. Thanks for that insight. I actually like that insight. Oh wait, she accused Himiko. Okay, no, bad Angie. Fucking bad Angie, dude.
様がそう言ってるんだ。
Okay, sure.
神様が神った推理でみんなが生き残るための道を示してくれてるんだから。
Right.
感謝しないと罰が当たっちゃうよ。
You know how the first game twist was it was being shown live, and the second was that it's a simulation? What do you think this game's twist will be? The twist will be that, yeah, actually, yeah, that's like the first one was that it was broadcasted everywhere. And the second one, it was that it was a simulation, and this one is like they keep showing images of brainwashing. It's like they're kind of hinting that it's gonna be exactly the second one, or maybe it's just like, oh, what if now this time it's gonna be babies? What if it's babies actually that they're like, okay, yeah, well, the plot twist of Danganronpa 3 is gonna be actually the babies are still inside of the womb or something, or maybe inside of like a tube or something, and now they're just being psychologically engineered to be the ultimate something. That's probably gonna be the plot twist of Danganronpa 3. Maybe I'm gonna say that that's gonna be the thing. Maybe. Right. Yeah, Himiko's the most suspicious.
体が水槽の中に突然現れるなんて、水中脱出のトリックが関係しているとしか思えない。マジックを行った夢野さんを疑うのは自明の理だよ。
それは違うぞ。うちの水中脱出にトリックなどない。あれは魔法だからな。
Okay, yeah, sure.
そうじゃなくて自分が犯人じゃねえってことを意見しろよ。
魔法か。あったら素敵だね。不思議ミラクルだよね。
Sure.
で、卑弥呼って龍馬を殺しちゃった？正直に神様に告白しちゃいなよ。
Okay.
やめてください。そんなわけないじゃないですか。
いや、ゆめなちゃんは水中脱出のトリックを利用して星ちゃんを殺したんだよ。まあそのトリックが何なのかはわからないけどさ。
トリックなどないんじゃ。あれは本当に魔法なんじゃ。
Alright.
ここまで言うってことは本当にあれって魔法なんじゃ。
いいからさっさとトリックの種明かしをすれば。じゃないと本当に犯人になるよ。夢野さんをいじめるのもいい加減にしてください。こんなに小さいのに可愛いじゃないですか。
The thing is, like, Maki is kind of suspicious because she's the only one that doesn't have alibi anywhere.
かばいたい気持ちはわかるけど、ちょっと思いが先走りすぎかもね。
Right. So I expected the others suspect Kimiko, but I have my doubts. I can't let this case get derailed by misunderstandings. I'm the ultimate detective, so it's up to me. Okay, let's see.
神様のお告げによると、犯人は水中脱出のトリックを使って
Right.
自分と龍馬の居場所を入れ替えたんだって。
Oops.
タイムリミットが来て、星ちゃんは上の水槽から落ちてきたピラニアに、いやー、食べられて死んじゃった。
ピラニアに食べられて白血かな。
Okay.
死んでも死にきれない結末だよ。
それは違うわい。水中脱出の魔法にトリックなどない。いつまで言ってんだまな板女。
Okay. Rima's body was eaten by the piranhas that fell into the tank. That is a fact, but that doesn't mean it was the cause of death. Okay, yeah, we're probably gonna begin by that.
犯人は水中脱出のトリックを使って
Okay.
自分と龍馬の居場所を入れ替えたんだって。
その直後にタイムリミットが来たピラニアに、いやー、食べられて死んじゃった。
Okay. So we begin by that, actually. We begin by saying he didn't die by piranhas.
いや、星君はピラニアに食べられて死んだわけじゃないよ。
Right.
ほら、モノクマファイルを見て。ここに死因は溺死って書いてあるよね。
Right. That's the thing.
つまり星のやつは溺れて死んだってことだな。
そうなんだ。モノクマファイルなんて見てないから知らなかったよ。
Okay, it's a warm-up question. Okay, fine.
嘘を言わないでください。嘘つきは男子の始まりですよ。
Okay, yeah, sure.
でもそれがどうした？卑弥呼と水中で入れ替わった龍馬が溺れて死んだ後にピラニアにガブガブされただけでしょ。
いえ、ゆめなさんの水中脱出のタイムリミットは60秒しかありませんでしたし、ショーの序盤に入れ替わったとしても、その短時間での溺死は不可能だと思いますよ。
Right.
だったら彼はいつ溺死させられたのかしらね。
When did Ryoma drown? It was obviously... I mean, before the show started.
そうだ。星君はあのショーが始まる前にすでに溺死させられていたはずだよ。
Yeah, that's kind of the thing.
僕も同感だよ。ピラニアに襲われる直前の彼は水の中から逃げようともしていなかった。
Right.
それどころか身じろぎ一つしていなかったんだ。そう、死んでいたんだよ。あの時の彼はすでに死者になっていたのさ。
では彼の死体はあの時までどこかに隠されていて、犯人がそれを水中に出現させたということですか？
でもどこに隠していたの？
ショーの最中に水槽に出現させるとなると、水槽のすぐそばである必要があるけど。
I'm assuming that it is like... his body was possibly maybe like... I feel like it has to do with with there being more piranhas than before, maybe. Like, I'm not exactly sure what, but it could be part of the trick where there's like different boxes, like different compartments in the trick, so that people can hide specifically some things, basically. Like, I don't know, it's like we're gonna have to figure out how the trick works in order for us to kind of like understand how the killing happened. Yeah.
あのステージのどこかに死体を隠せる場所があったんだろうね。
Right.
まあ、水中脱出トリックをやったゆめのちゃんなら知ってるはずだけど。
Right.
ゆめの、まだ勇気になんねえのかよ。
魔法じゃからな。
Okay, Himiko, I understand that, but we really need to get to the bottom of this.
ここまで言うってことは、本当にあれって魔法なんじゃ。
あんたは黙ってて。
Yeah, thank you, Maki.
ゆめのさんは徹底してるね。まあ、夢を与える人間は徹底的に嘘つきでないとね。
But those who deal in dreams are oft liars? What does oft even mean? What the fuck does oft... Dude, what the fuck does oft even mean? Actually, wait. Wait. If I had a paper... Okay, wait. Okay, give me a second. Great new off. Yeah, sure. I'm feeling very off today, guys. I'm feeling very off. Feels very off of me. Okay, yeah, sure.
それは言わせてあげようよ。お父さんもいろいろと大変なんだよ。
けど参ったな。死体の隠し場所を突き止めるためにも水中脱出の方法をはっきりさせておきてえところだが。
肝心の夢のさんのあれではね。だったらみんなで力を合わせて卑弥呼のトリックを解明させるぞ。
Right.
本当に魔法じゃないんだよね。
Obviously not. Come on.
魔法じゃぞ。
Himiko, you do realize that you're the prime suspect of a murder case. You do know that, right? I think it's not the time for you to be saying magic all this kind of time. Okay, you shut up. Anyway, we first need to determine how Himiko performed the trick. If we can figure that out, this case is going nowhere. Okay. Not the mechanism? I mean, yeah. That doesn't count as a mechanism? I guess it doesn't. That's the one. Right, right.
本当にあったんだ。僕は夢野さんの研究教室でショーに使われたのと同じ水槽を調べたんだけど、水槽の側面の一部が開く仕組みになっていたんだ。あれが水槽。
Ouch. Oops. God damn it. Okay, shut the fuck up, Tenko.
おかしいって何が？そんなことにも気づかないあたりは、所詮は犀原さんの男子ですね。そんな男子には天子が熱い拳と現実を叩き込んでやります。
Yeah, sure, whatever. How did I do this? I forget. Okay, Piranha Time. Okay. 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 Okay, cool.
ちょっと待ってよ。殴る前に聞かせて。確信しているって何か根拠でもあるの？だって水槽の穴から外に出たら一緒に大量の水も出てしまいますよ。そうしたら周辺は水浸しじゃないですか。そんなのマジックとして成立していません。すぐにバレちゃいます。
There was water.
というわけで今度こそ殴りますよ。
Okay, yeah, sure.
だって水槽の穴から外に出たら
Ouch.
一緒に大量の水も出てしまいますよ。そうしたら周辺は水浸しじゃないですか。そんなの
Wait.
マジックとして成立していません。
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, yeah. Okay, I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. I need to be reminded of the mechanic. Okay, yeah, cool. There we go. Okay. So yeah.
もちろん、あたりを水浸しにしないためのトリックもちゃんとあったんだ。
Yeah, I mean.
水槽に取り付けられていた階段だよ。
Uh-huh.
あの階段が設置されていた位置をよく思い出してほしいんだけどさ、あの位置は水槽の抜け穴がある位置と全く同じなんだ。つまり水槽の抜け穴は階段の内部とつながっていたと考えられるんだ。
Right.
階段の内部って、じゃああの階段って中に入れたの？
Inside the staircase.
それなら夢野さんの水中脱出の方法もはっきりしてくるよね。
Does that mean that the body got shoved in after she got out?
夢野さんが水槽に入った直後、ショーの演出で水槽にカーテンがかけられる。と同時に水中の夢野さんは水槽の抜け穴から階段の内部に入るんだ。
Right.
その時溢れた水は階段の内部に溜まるから周囲が濡れる心配はない。
Hmm.
そこから外に出るときはどうするの？
That's interesting.
もちろん階段に脱出用の扉もあったはずだよ。きっとステージ裏側の側面が開く仕組みだろうね。
Right.
しかも扉は側面全体が開くわけじゃなくて下の方は開く。
それなら
Ouch.
水を階段の
Ouch. Okay, oops.
本人だけが外に出ることができますね。
Okay. I really need to study Japanese, like, more specifically because of the flow and shit. Ah, that's so annoying.
ただし本人はびしょびしょに濡れているはずだから周囲に完全に痕跡を残さないのは不可能だ。
Right.
それでステージ裏の階段周辺にあんな水たまりができていたんだ。
Right.
夢野が階段の側面から出た時に濡れた服から水が下だったんだな。
どうなんだよ、びしょびしょビッチ。
Okay. Wow. Okay. Interesting.
この反応からして正解みたいだね。
Yeah, but that kind of like makes me think that it's like, was the body inside of Himiko's like little like hatchet? Did she replace like? Did she like just change positions? Where like he just took Ryoma's body in and like Himiko like got inside of the hatchet and it's just like, yeah, well that would be too obvious now, wouldn't it? Like maybe.
でも服が濡れてたって言いましたけど、夢野さんが水中脱出を成功させた時は。
Right. Behold, the magnificent underwater escape.
そうね。彼女の服は濡れていなかったわね。
I mean, that means that she probably had a change of clothes somewhere.
当然じゃ。うちの水中脱出は種も仕掛けもない。魔法じゃからな。
No, magic had nothing to do with why her clothes weren't wet. No magic. No, magic had nothing to do with her clothes weren't wet. She probably just changed.
そうだ。制服を着替えたからだよね。
Yeah, obviously.
寄宿舎には予備の制服が何着も置いてあったはずです。それをあらかじめステージ裏に隠しておいたのですか？
Yeah. Okay. Okay, Himiko is unbelievably adorable at this point.
そういえば、キミコって今朝制服とタオルを持って体育館に来てたよね。
Thanks, Angie, but yeah, this is kind of important, actually. Okay, yeah, sure.
なんて言っちゃうんですか。
そっか、タオルも置いてあったんだね。 短時間で髪を完全に乾かすのは難しいだろうけど。
Yeah, no.
夢野さんは髪が短い上に帽子もかぶってるから、少しくらい濡れてても誰にも気づかれないだろうね。
濡れませんよ。夢野さんは水には濡れない体質なんです。
So is Kimiko like a dog of some sort?
どんな体質？
Thanks for the how did they say it's Tsukomi, I think. Well, that I mean I don't know, probably not. I probably don't know exactly what that means, so yeah, whatever.
夢のそろそろ観念したらどうだ？
うちの巻じゃ。
Okay, yeah, cool.
お主らの言った通りじゃ。あの水槽と階段には仕掛けがあったんじゃ。
Right.
やっぱりね、分かってたけど。
ただ水槽に仕掛けがあったのは認めるが、うちがそれを使ったとは限らんぞ。
Uh-huh.
うちはあくまで魔法によって水中脱出しただけだからな。
Sure.
だからいつまで言ってんだ。てめえは頭もどぶすか？
まあ、これで水中脱出の方法も分かったことだし、さっさと話を進めようか。
星くんの死体が隠されていた場所ね。今の話から考える限りだと。
That's the thing. It's like definitely not in the box of piranhas. Because the body was already there, and when the piranhas dropped, his body was already inside, so the body must have been somewhere in the pool, or maybe thrown in there while the trick was being performed. You know, like in the first trial, the first one was like Kaede herself outed herself as a culprit, and she ended up getting executed because like she actually, like, we didn't exactly see when she did it, but the game was like, yeah, well, it happened. I was like, okay, yeah, sure. With the second case would actually be an actual suicide by Ryoma. Who knows, really? But it's like there's signs of a struggle as well. So there's chances that he had to fight somebody to not get killed. So maybe, yeah, it kind of indicates that there was a struggle of some sort.
おそらくその階段の中のスペースでしょうね。
Yeah, that's kind of what the first thing that I thought.
でもそこは夢野さんが脱出に使うスペースだよね。
Yeah.
夢野は死体と一緒にあの階段の中に入ったのか？アングラ系のド変態じゃねえか。
いいえ、それは無理だと思います。あそこには2人同時に入れる広さはありません。
Mm-hmm.
そんなに大きな階段でもないし、いくら星くんと夢野さんの小柄でも難しいと思う。
Yeah, I did think about it for like a second.
同時に入る必要ないよ。入れ替わりで入ればいいだけだから。
Yeah, that's also a possibility, but
水槽から階段のスペースに入るとき、そこにあった死体を引っ張り出して、代わ わりにスルスルっと自分が入れば、ほらあの時の状況が完成。
Right.
卑弥呼はそうやって自分と龍馬の死体を入れ替えたのだ。
待ってください。どうして夢野さんがやったって決めつけるんですか？
Because she's the only one that was in the tank, so it makes sense.
むしろ卑弥呼以外に今の方法ができた人っている？
There's the purple guy that was not in the trick, I think. There's Mackie, who was absent. I don't know. It's like during the trick.
アンジーさんはどうして一緒に行動していた夢野さんを追い詰めるんですか？
天子こそ卑弥呼のことをかばってるけど、その卑弥呼が犯人だったらどうする？天子のせいでみんな死ぬんだよ。神様に祈りを捧げる人もいなくなっちゃうんだよ。天子はそれでもいいの？
いいですよ。
What?
誰に何を言われようと、天子は夢野さんは
Okay, yeah.
人を殺すような人じゃありません。天子はそう信じているんです。こんな状況だろうと信じたい人すら信じられないなら、天子は死んだ方がマシです。
Danko, why are you such a lesbian, dude?
だから天子は最後まで夢野さんを信じます。
Okay.
龍馬の死体を水中で入れ替えられたのは卑弥呼しかいないんだよ。
夢野さんは自分が水槽から脱出する際に階段の中から死体を引っ張り出して入れ替わりでその中に入ったの。
Wait. Where what? Wait, where did I?
それを見たとでも言うんですか？
さすがに見るの。あの時はショーの最中だったから。水槽にはカーテンがかかっていたもの。
つまり誰も見ていないってことだね。
Gunter's account. Okay.
階段の中に。嘘つくんじゃねえよ、天使なブス。
嘘なんかじゃありません。そして刑事なんてもブスでもありません。
Okay. It's possible.
龍馬の死体を水中で入れ替えられるしかいないんだよ。
夢野さんは自分が水槽から脱出する際に階段の中から死体を引っ張り出して
Okay.
入れ替わりでその中に入ったんだ。
それを見たとでも言う。
さすがに見るのは不可能。ショーの水槽には
誰も見ていない。
それは違うぞ。
Okay, so yeah, we kind of have to go through Gunter's account, what he saw specifically.
いや、水槽の中を見ていた人ならいたんだ。ゴンタ君だよ。
Yeah, well, what did Gunter see specifically?
ショーの最中にステージに上がったゴンタ君は上から水槽の中を見ていたんだ。
Right.
そうだよね、ゴンタ君。
Yeah.
見るには見たんだけど、でも誰もいなかったよ。
So he should have been able to see the body, but there was nothing. So that implies that the time where the body was thrown in was it wasn't a weird time frame, or maybe there's another compartment that we don't know about.
誰もいなかった
Uh-huh.
水槽の中には誰もいなかったんだ。だから手がかりにはならないよね。
いやそれは大きな手がかりだよ。だってもし階段の中に星君の死体を隠していたなら、夢野さんがその中に入るとき星君の死体を外に出す。
Wait, how did I open transcript? Okay, wait. Window.
出ないはずな。
Okay. No one was in the tank during that time. Gunta didn't notice Ryoma inside the tank until after the piranhas were released. Okay.
なんだ。だってあの階段には2人が同時に入るほどのスペースはなかったからね。
Right.
でもゴンタ君が水槽の中を見たとき、そこに誰もいなかったってことは、階段の中に星君の死体を隠していたって考えは成立しなくなるんだ。
無理やり2人同時に入ったかもしれねえだろ。入れ替わりを目撃されねえようにな。
けど目撃を警戒すること自体が不自然だと思うよ。ゴンタ君が水槽の中を見たのは偶然で、本来はカーテンで見られないって前提があったはずだよ。
だとすると無理して狭い階段の中で死体と入れ替わろうとは考えないはずです。むしろ死体を水槽に出してから入る方が素早く楽に行えるので合理的です。
じゃあ星君の死体が隠されていたのは階段の中じゃないの？
Yeah, it seems very difficult actually.
だったら死体はどこに隠されてたんだよ。はっきりしねえと無差別的にぶっ殺すぞ。
Where was Ryoma's body hidden? We need to pin that down. It's clear that it was not inside the staircase, but where?
星の死体はどこに隠してあったんだよ。本当に階段の中じゃないんだよね。
夢野さんが入るスペースしかありませんしね。
だったらカーテンの裏はどうですか？そこから水槽に入る手段があれば可能性としてはあり得るかもしれないよね。むしろ死体はずっと水槽の中にあったけどアンジーたちに見えてないだけだったり、かなり特殊な視覚効果でもないと無理だよ。
ピラニアが入っていた水槽は
そんなところに死体を隠してピラニアに食っただろうが。
でも死体とピラニアが分断されていればピラニアに襲われることはないよね。
When was he not eaten by the piranhas even though he was in the same tank?
星の死体はどこに隠してあったんだよ。本当に階段のカーテンの裏はどうですか？そこから水槽に入る手段があれば。
違ったか。
Okay, so no, not necessarily. The glass pane is not necessarily a door.
星の死体はどこに隠してあったんだよ。本当に階段だ。可能性。死体はずっと水槽に見えてたり。特殊な視覚。
ピラニアが入っていた水槽は
そんなところに死体先にピラニアに食われちまうだろうが。
でも死体と分断されていれば
What about the glass pane? Like separating the piranhas from the body? Yeah. That's the other option that I was thinking.
君の言う通りだ。死体とピラニアは分断されていたんだよ。
So yeah, what if, like, okay, what if like like it was inside of the same box, but it's like his body was first, the first thing to drop, basically, then the glass pane, and then the piranhas. Like, would that be plausible? Like,
水槽の底に落ちていたあの四角いガラス板でね。
right. But I think that would have been like very loud if there was a glass pane falling into the tank.
やっぱりそうなんだね。
Right.
あのガラス板を仕切りにすれば水槽の中にピラニアのいないスペースを作ることができる。
Yeah, that's what I okay, maybe not exactly what I thought, but it is similar.
そうすればピラニアに襲われずにあの中に死体を隠しておくことができるはずだよ。
だったら死体が隠されていた場所はピラニアが入っていた水槽で間違いないですね。
Right.
じゃあ星の死体はピラニアと一緒に上の水槽から落ちてきたのか。
やっぱりそうだったんだ。
Right.
どうしたのゴンタ君。
あのね、ピラニアが落ちてきた時、ゴンタはステージの上にいたでしょ。
Right.
みんなよりずっと近くで見ていたから気づいたんだと思うけど、あの時たくさんのピラニアに混じって何か大きな塊が落ちてきた気がしたんだ。
Okay, so you should have started by there. Right when the timer hit 0, the buzzer went off. And then... Yeah, that's kind of the thing. The bottom of the suspended tank swung open, and the murky water and shadowy shapes inside fell straight into the water tank Himiko was swimming in. Huh? Oh?
あれが星君の死体だったのかもしれないよ。
Yeah, that was the first thought that came into my mind at the beginning of the trial. I was like, somebody must have put Ryoma's body inside of the box somehow, and maybe fill it with piranhas. But so many piranhas to the point that they couldn't even move to eat the body inside of the box. But this makes a little bit more logical sense.
ちょっと待って。本当にピラニアの水槽に死体が隠してあったの？
Hmm.
だってあの水槽って正面がガラス張りだったもんね。つまり正面からは丸見えよ。そんな水槽に死体を隠しておけるのかしら。
いくら水槽の水が濁ってたからって丸見えは困るよ。
だから丸見えにならないようにあるもので死体を隠していたんだよ。あるもの？さっき死体とピラニアを分断するためにガラス板を仕切りにしたって言ったけど、その方法で死体を分断させることには 同時に死体を隠せるって利点もあったんだ。
Right.
なぜその方法で死体を隠せるんだ。
How was the culprit able to conceal the body in the piranha tank? I mean, it literally says that the trick itself is that there's only one side that is visible. I mean, maybe the cramped piranhas.
これだ。
Yeah, basically.
ピラニアだよ。死体はピラニアで隠されていたんだ。
That implies that the person who ate the body probably shoved in more piranhas than usual to hide the body. So it's like, okay, so the design had to be like this. It's like the side of the piranhas that was visible to the public was there for the obstruction of what was behind it, which was the body itself. So that means that, yeah, the glass pane must have been like in that angle, in that diagonal that was shown in the diagram, in order for the surface of the piranhas to only be visible compared to what was behind it, basically. And that's when everything just kind of came down. Yeah.
捜査の時にアンジーさんが言ってたんだけどさ。
I noticed it right as the show started. I feel like there are more piranhas today than yesterday when we were preparing. Okay.
一日でそんな増えたのか？ピラニアってそんなに盛んなのかよ。
Mew, shut the fuck up.
いや、実際に増えたわけじゃなくて、そう見えただけなんだ。
Right.
ガラス板で仕切りを作ると、その分ピラニアのスペースが狭くなるでしょ。その結果、ピラニアがぎゅうぎゅうになって増えたように見えただけなんだよ。
そしてピラニアが密集した分だけ奥も見えにくくなるはずだから。
So maybe it was the exact same amount, but because they were more packed, it was more. It looked like there were more.
それが目隠し代わりになって奥の死体を隠していたというわけね。この仕切り板は蓋じゃなくピラニアの水槽についてる蓋じゃ。この蓋は簡単に取り外せるようになっておったから、それを仕切り板として悪用したんだ。
Right. So that means that whomever touched the wire from the tennis court was the one that actually got Ryoma, basically. Maybe.
どうでもいい補足をありがとう。
何言ってるんですか。重要な補足ですよ。蓋なら少し大きいかもしれませんが、斜めにすればぴったりはまりそうですし。いやー、さすがは夢野さんですね。
ここまで証拠が出揃ってんなら、死体の隠し場所はピラニアの水槽で間違いなさそうだな。
Right, that seems to be the case.
おめでとうございます、夢野さん。これで夢野さんが疑われる理由はなくなりましたね。
The thing is, like, Kaito to me seems to be the most suspicious. I think he was the only person that was not at the show. So, maybe I'm overthinking, but yeah.
あ、そうなのか？
そうなのか？
だって水中で死体と入れ替わったんじゃないなら、必ずしも夢野さんの犯行とは言えませんからね。
Hmm.
他の容疑者も考えられるってだけで容疑者から外れたわけじゃないけどね。
Right.
それでも大いなる進歩なのです。
よかったね、卑弥呼。きっと神様も喜んでいるよ。
Okay, sure.
じゃなくて謝ってくださいよ。神様もろとも夢野さんに謝ってください。
Yeah, well...
神様はみんなに否定されてばっかりで不手にしちゃったよ。
Okay, sure.
器のちっちゃい神様だな。いや、いいんじゃ。悪いのはアンジーではない。悪いのはこの学級裁判。この殺し合いなんじゃからな。ね
え夢野さん、どうしてそんなに心が優しいんですか？
と神様も言っておるからな。
Okay, shut the fuck up, Himiko. Okay, suddenly I don't like witches anymore. Jeez.
じゃがイケメンの神様が不手にしてしまったとは残念じゃわい。
She's still my favorite character though, but like, come on.
洗脳がまるで溶けてない。
Yeah, sure.
でも天候は諦めませんよ。これしきはお茶の子です。
Yeah, sure.
つーか、どうすんだよ。結局振り出しに戻っちまったじゃねえか。
振り出しってなんで？
てめえは偏差値5か。全員が容疑者ってことは振り出しってことだろうが。
Jeez.
全員じゃないよ。容疑者はアリバイのないやつだけだからね。
Yeah, that's kind of the thing. It's like Maki is a little bit suspicious, to me specifically. It's like right now the only suspicious people to me is Kaito. And like, and Maki herself. And maybe a little bit of Shirogane.
アリバイってなんだよ。
ああ、色豚にわかるわけないよね。仕方ない。順を追って説明してあげるよ。
Okay, that's kind of like a weird translation, but okay.
色豚？
I mean, I guess is that how you say it? Okay, sure.
犯人は体育館でピラニアの水槽に仕切り板を入れたり、そこに死体を隠したりしたみたいだけど、体育館でそんな細工ができる時間なんて実は結構限られてるんだよね。
Okichi brings up a valid point. There's only one time the culprit could have set up this scene. There's only one time the culprit could have set up. Okay. Okay. Oh yeah, they cannot enter the pool at night. Yeah, the pool regulation says that they cannot enter the swimming pool at night. Yeah. So when does the pool close exactly? Was it like? And here's the thing: after reading every paper that I went through, Ryoma was still alive at 8 p.m. Miu saw Ryoma at like 7:30 p.m. But how is that possible?
あったりー。さすがは超高校級の探偵だね。
How? Wait, what?
待てよ。なんで昨日の夜時間前ってわかるんだ？
今のは消去法で考えればいいだけど、バカみたいに簡単な問題なんだけど。仕方ないな。頭の弱いビチコちゃんのために説明してあげるか。
Okay, let's hear Kokichi's explanation because I feel the right answer was maybe in the morning, but okay, let's go with it.
ビチコ。
Okay, shut up, Miu.
まず夜時間は体育館が閉鎖されている以上可能性はなくなるんだ。
Yeah.
夜時間に体育館に入るとなっちゃうからね。
Okay.
オイラの肛門がね。
Huh?
サイレンや。
そして夜時間が明けた後、つまり今朝のショーの前って可能性だけど。
いや、それはないよ。
Hmm.
今朝はアナウンスが鳴る前からアンジーとヒミコが体育館の前で待ってたんだぞ。
Then that makes Angie a little bit suspicious then.
というわけで残された可能性は昨日の夜時間前しかないんだよ。
It's like Himiko and Angie become suspicious if it was done in the morning because they were together. But at the same time, if it was done before nighttime yesterday, that leaves the insect meet and greet to be the prime aspect of this, actually.
こんな簡単な問題を間違えるようなやつはそこの色豚ビチコちゃんレベルの恥ずべき存在だよね。
Okay, yeah, sure. Okay, shut the fuck up, Mew.
つまり犯人は昨日の夜時間前に星君の死体をピラニアの水槽に入れたのね。
Right.
だったら彼が殺されたのも昨日の夜時間前ということになるわね。
これで犯行時刻が分かったね。
けどまだざっくりしてんな。もっと時間を絞れねえのかよ。
Yeah, that's kind of weird. I'm sure we can narrow it down more if we consider the source of the information. It's like... Yeah, it's like it has to be Gonta and Mew.
星君の目撃情報をもとに考えれば彼の死亡時刻をもっと絞れるんじゃないかな。
Right.
ねえ、東條さんはみんなに聞いていたよね。星君を最後に見かけたのはいつかって。
ええ、最後に見かけたのは極原君だったわよ。
Yeah.
そうなの？
Yeah, at 8 p.m. specifically.
ゴンタさんが最後に星さんを見かけたのはいつなんですか？
8 p.m.
みんなを昆虫で和もう会に誘ってる時だから夜8時くらいだったと思う。
Yeah.
最後に目撃されたのが夜8時。なおかつ殺されたのが夜時間前ということは。
夜8時から夜10時までが犯行時刻ということになるわね。
So that's kind of the funny thing is like Maki Tojo and Kokichi were like kind of part of that kind of circle where we didn't know exactly what was happening. Also, Miu was half naked around that time for whatever reason.
その時間のアリバイがない人を探せばいいんだね。
Yeah,
それ
specifically.
なら簡単そうだよ。だってその時間帯は大半の人間がゴン太くんに捕まっていたからね。
Yeah.
確かあの場にいなかったのは星君以外だと。
私と桃田くんとイルマさん、それにハルカーさんの4人ね。
It's like Tojo, Kaito, Miu, and Maki. Those were the four that kind of stood out to me a little bit. Yeah.
さすがは東條ちゃん。自分に不利でもちゃんと自己申告してくれるんだね。
私はみんなのために動いているんだもん。真実に近づくためならいくら疑われても構わないわ。
Okay, sure.
美しいよ。その自己犠牲の精神は美しすぎるよ。
Korikyu, I kind of low-key get you, and that makes me look like the biggest pervert ever, so keep going, whatever.
ついでにこれも先に言っておくわよ。犯行時刻の夜8時から夜10時までの間なんだけど、私は一人で体育館に行っているの。
Okay. Huh.
ただしほんの5分くらいよ。
Why only 5 minutes?
だとしてもそこまで自己申告する？自分で自分の首を絞めてるようなもんだよ。
Yeah, that's a little... Yeah, a little bit.
いくら5分くらいっつっても体育館に一人でいたのは怪しすぎんだろ。
Yeah, why were you at the gym for 5 minutes?
そのメイドババアで決まりだ。てめえが星をやったんだろ。
Yeah, that's kind of the thing.
決めるのが早すぎるよ。ちゃんと他の人の話も聞いてみてからにしない？
Yeah.
そんなもん必要ね。
ですがイルマさんにだって犯行時刻のアリバイはありませんよね。
俺様を疑ってんのか？俺様は体育館がどこにあるのかも知らねえんだぞ。そうやって無駄な嘘までつくからイルマさんは疑われちゃうんだと思うよ。
Yeah, that's kind of the thing.
他にアリバイがないのが桃田くんと春川さんだ。君たちの言い分も聞かせてもらおうかね。
Yeah, let's hear them.
ずっと自分の研究教室にいただけだよ。体育館なんかに行ってない。
Yeah, Maki's the most suspicious as well because he literally is the only one that has literally 0 alibis. She was on her own in her lab.
でも誰もそれを証明できないんだよね。
Yeah, no.
で、桃田ちゃんはそのしょぼひげからしてかなり怪しいよね。どこがしょぼいんだ。むしろセレブ感丸出しじゃねえか。
Okay, sure.
とにかくアリバイがない4人の中に犯人がいるのは間違いありません。
申し訳ありませんが、君たちを疑わざるを得ない状況です。
誰ですか？誰が犯人なんですか？
待てよ。なんで俺が疑われてんだ。さっきから大活躍してやってるのによ。
But that makes you a little bit suspicious. Just a teeny tiny bit.
思い出したぞ。俺様にはアリバイがあったんだ。
Okay.
私が怪しいかどうかは議論を進めてみればわかるはずよ。私は犯人なんかじゃない。
Oh no, the mass panic debate is gonna start. That's what you're thinking, right? Well, you're exactly correct, buddy. But let me tell you, to give you another tutorial first. The mass panic debate this time around will have loud voice dialogue. Oh shit, okay. When one of your opponents shouts their opinion in a loud voice, oh fuck. That blocks out everyone's arguments, even if you see a weak spot. You can't refute it. Oh no, what you shall do then? Oh wait. Okay. Why isn't an auto? Okay. Okay, wait. Okay, so it's when one of your opponents shouts their opinion in a loud voice. That blocks out everyone's arguments. Even if you see a weak spot, you can't refute it. Oh no, what would I do then? That's what you're thinking, right? Luckily, there's just like white noise. I'll shut them up with an A button silencer. After that, all the arguments will be audible again. Then you just shoot the truth bullet at the weak spot. You know the drill. Okay. So it's gonna be annoying, actually. Thank you for your understanding. Okay, cool. Gun's account, okay. Wait. 喂 Okay. Okay. Okay, wait. Kokishi's account. Immediately after Kokichi left the Ultimate Entomologist lab at 9 PM last night, he was caught by Kurumi in the entrance hall. He stayed with her until 10 PM. After he went to the dorms and returned to the Ultimate Entomologist lab. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, so that's kind of what I have to do. Are you sure you didn't stay at the gym? Wait. Hirumi was at the gym the entire time, was she not? I do not believe that evidence is sufficient proof. Okay. Okay, let's see. Okay, let me read exactly every argument. Because we're talking about consents, really, right now. Okay, wait. Okay, so let's see. Immediately after Kokichi, okay. It has to be Kokichi's account. We're gonna have to use Kokichi's account in this one probably. Okay. 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 This is just a second trial, and we're gonna be dealing with this shit. Actually.
さんの言葉は本当だと思う。だって大間くんが言ってたんだ。
Yeah. It's like he ran into Kirumi and talked with her for at least an hour, from 9 to 10 specifically. So it's like that's the alibi that Kirumi and Kokichi basically. That is like during that hour they were together. So we kind of have to like listen to what Kokichi actually saw Kirumi do. Right when I got into the entrance hall, Kirumi spotted me. That was right after I left Gonta's lab, so it was right around 9 p.m. So yeah. She started throwing questions at me left and right, asking if I was up to no good. Okay. She just kept talking, then finally let me go at 10 p.m. when nighttime rolled around. Okay, so in this situation, nighttime counts as 10 p.m. So specifically, this means that it had to be like in the time frame between 9 p.m. and 10 p.m. was probably when the murder happened. Specifically. Well, yeah, or 8 to 10 p.m. maybe. Like that specific time frame, but we're gonna have to discuss a little bit about it. And it's like if they were distracted for an entire hour, the possibility of Kirumi being being the assassin is not necessarily true unless the murder happened at 9 p.m. Well, unless the murder happened at 8. Wait, actually, hold on a second. Ryoma was still alive at 8 p.m. according to Gonta. So that means specifically that the time of death is probably between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. So that doesn't free, like, Hirumi from this. It just makes her a little bit more suspicious. And it could be possible that Kirumi had anxiety trying to calm herself down and she needed to talk to somebody, basically. So maybe Kirumi is potentially the killer, actually. Well, only the first half of the hour was a lecture, then we played tag for another half. Why were you playing tag? Yeah. Gonta went to the gym to catch Himiko. And Angie 5 minutes before 9 o'clock. Five minutes till 9 o'clock. So that means, okay, so funnily enough, that's the time frame where Himiko and Angie joined. This is where Kirumi was at the gym at 8:55 specifically. Okay. Okay.
その発言は嘘の可能性がありそうです。人間はロボットと違ってハードディスクから簡単に記録を呼び出せないんだよ。
Okay.
僕が落ち込むと思いましたか？むしろ皆さんの非合理さに同情します。
Okay, sure.
とにかく、もし私が犯人だとすると、たった5分間で星君を殺したことになるわ。
Right.
さらに、その死体を体育館まで運んで、ピラニアの水槽に隠すなんて、とても不可能よ。
Okay, give me a second.
星を体育館に呼びつけて殺せば死体の運搬をする必要はなくなるよ。そうすればあとは水槽の細工だけで済むけど。
もともと体育館にはアンジーさんたちがいて、極原くんが彼女たちをさらったのは私にとって不可抗力よ。
Why didn't Gonta capture you?
まさかそれを計算に入れてあらかじめ星君を呼び出しておいたとでも言うの？
さすがに厳しそうだよね。おとなしく他の可能性を探した方が良さそうかも。
きっと他の誰かが俺と東條ちゃんが話している間に体育館に忍び込んだんだろうね。
それができた可能性があるのはアリバイのない残りの3人。
Yeah, it's like Maki herself is the most suspicious. Miu apparently has an alibi, and the other guy that I forget, Kaito, yeah. Miu, Kaito, and Maki, yeah. Yeah, because you didn't say an alibi specifically.
ただその中には容疑者から外せそうな人が一人いるんだよね。だろ？怪しくねえやつがいるだろう。ったく、ちゃんとみんなに言ってやれよ。
One person can be eliminated as a suspect according to Kokichi. You must be talking about the figure he saw. He certainly could have an alibi. The key to that fact lies in Kokichi, Gonta, and Miu's statements. According to what we know, that figure Kokichi saw must be... I mean, yeah, she was there, probably. Yep, basically.
そうだね。彼女にはアリバイがあるから。
Yeah, she was naked in the courtroom, in the courtyard, at nighttime for some reason. So yeah, Kaito and the red girl, I forget her name, but yeah. Yeah, I did something odd while Kirimi was lecturing me. Something odd? I saw a half-naked girl wandering around the courtyard in her underwear. It was too dark for me to make out who it was, but I saw her walk around for a bit. Okay. Yeah, Maki, yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, it's like there's no one else. Kaito, you're acting suspicious, but okay. Yeah, a little bit. Oh, Gonta same you, but Gunta's face get red hot, so Gunta no could bring her. Your face got hot? You mean you were hot in her on her trail, right? No, she used her, what you call it? Secret woman weapon? And then... well... I had to use my secret woman weapon, and let's just leave it at that.
なるなる。エロエロあったって本当にエロエロあったんだ。
Yeah, it seems like it. Yeah, probably.
っていうか意味不明なんですけど、なんでイルマさんは下着姿だったんですか？
それはだな、俺様の半熟エロボディならさすがの暴走ゴッタも手を出せねえと思って一肌脱いだってわけだ。
Why the fuck would you defend yourself like that? That's kind of like the complete opposite. In the real world, it would be the complete opposite, actually. Well, depending on the person, actually, but still, come on.
わかったか、このゴキブリども。
Okay, yeah, sure.
おかげで俺をさらいに来たウブでデカチンのゴンタは顔を真っ赤にして照れてやがったぜ。
Okay, sure.
びっくりしたよ。だっていきなり下着姿で出てくるんだもん。
I feel like Miu didn't really actually want to make Gonta run away because Miu is being Miu, but sure, let's go with that.
ゴンタ怖くなってそれで逃げちゃったんだ。
Yeah, sure.
まあ、俺様は自慢の絵画を見せびらかすみてえな誇らしい気分だったけどな。
Sure.
男に下着姿なんて見せ慣れてるからな。
Cool.
マジで見せ慣れてるからな。けど、ゴンタはラッキーだったな。これで一生釣りネタに困らねえぞ。
I'm starting to hate a little bit of Miu, actually. Personality-wise, yeah, I don't know. She's weird. What a waste, but at the same time, I kind of get it. But at the same time, what the fuck? But at the same time, what the fuck? But at the same time, what the fuck? Yeah, it's weird.
いろいろと理解不能な部分はありますが、イルマさんにアリバイがあるのは間違いなさそうですね。
Yeah, it seems like Miu has an alibi. Seems like it.
ちょっと時間がかかっちゃったけど、これでようやくみんなのアリバイが出揃ったし、
Right.
念のためにこれは覚えておこうか。また後で思い出すこともあるかもしれないしね。
Right. Yeah. Alibis for yesterday has been recorded into the monopad. Okay. So Miu's presence was recorded in the alibi.
なるほど。これでアリバイがないのは桃田くんと春川さんだけになったね。
Yeah.
じゃあ、そのどっちかが犯人なんだね。どっちが犯人だろうね。どちらにしようかな。神様の。
待て待て、勝手に決めてんじゃねえよ。
Two prime suspects, Kaito and Maki. But something inside me doesn't want to accuse Kaito. The thing is, like, Kaito ended up bonding with Shuichi the entire time. So it's kind of weird a little bit. It's like Kaito's approach was weird because he wanted to bond with Shuichi at nighttime as well. and that's why it kind of like interferes a little bit with his emotional stability. So I can kind of get it, but it's kind of weird. I want to believe Kaito, but until he's proven guilty, I will trust him.
あのさ、まずは犯人の手口を確定させない？そうすれば犯人につながる手がかりが。
そんなまどろっこしいことしなくていいよ。俺にいい考えがあるから。
Right. What is it exactly? What?
この二人のどっちかが犯人ってことは、今まで重ねてきた議論から導き出された結果だよね。
Not necessarily, but continue.
だとすると、これは決めつけでも何でもなく、俺らが導き出した真実なんだよ。だったら、その真実をもっと有効に使おうよ。
有効にってどうやって？
この二人のどっちかが犯人なら、残ったもう片方には犯人が分かってるってことだよね。だって自分が犯人じゃないなら相手の方こそが犯人なんださ。
確かにそうですね。
For some reason, I really like Kibo's like like poses. Actually, I kind of love Kibo. Suddenly, I started liking Kibo.
つまり俺らの中にはすでに犯人が分かった人がいるってことなんだ。
Right.
だったらその人に頑張ってもらえばいいんだよ。
Okay.
頑張るって何を？
その二人だけで徹底的に議論してもらうんだ。お互いに相手が犯人だってことを言い争ってもらうんだよ。
Right.
そんなことしても罪をなすりつけ合うだけにしかならないと思うんだけど。
それの何が悪いの？
Huh? Yeah, I was about to be like, huh?
協力とか力を合わせてとか言ってるけど、それって結局は疑うのが怖いだけでしょ？
Yeah.
信頼って言葉に逃げて人を疑う責任を放棄しようとしてるだけでしょ？
Yeah, sure.
そんな相手を気遣うような議論ばっかりしてても犯人にプレッシャーは与えられないよ。嘘つきをあぶり出すにはもっと精神的に追い詰めないといけないんだ。
Yeah, a little bit.
そうしてこそ初めて嘘のベールに隠された本性が姿を見せるんだよ。
Sure.
そのためにも容疑者に徹底的に言い争ってもらわないとね。
Right.
理論とか推理とかはもういいから、相手を貶めて蔑んであざけって軽蔑して叩きのめすような、そんなつまらなくない極限の議論をやろうよ。
I kind of low-key like a little bit of Kokichi, but
そうすればきっと犯人はボロを出すはずなんだ。嘘つきがあぶり出されるはずなんだよ。
yeah, sure, whatever you say.
それも議論の本質の一つ。学級裁判の醍醐味なんじゃないかな。
Yeah, sure.
ねえ、モナクマ。
確かにそういう展開も盛り上がりそうだよね。
Right.
ほらね。ほらねじゃねえよ。てめえはどっちの味方なんだ。もちろんみんなの味方だよ。俺だってまだ死にたくないんだよ。だからこそ本気の議論が必要なんだ。嘘つきをあぶり出すための極限の議論がさ。
そんなことをやれっていうの？
なあ、何から話していいかわからないなら俺が最初の議題を提供してあげようか。じゃーん、これだよ。
Oh, okay, we're talking. We actually can get the right food. Kokichi, you are absolute man. Let's go.
それ目
被害者である星ちゃんのモノクマーズパッドなのでした。
Okay, so wait, so okay, sure.
実は捜査が始まった時、真っ先に彼の部屋に行って拝借しておいたんだよね。
Right.
彼の部屋から映像を持ち出したのは犯人じゃなくて君だったのか。
Yeah, I mean, I think it was obvious because that's literally what he was doing.
で、なんで俺がこのタイミングでこんなものを出したのかっていうと、実は星ちゃんが持っていた同期ビデオが2人の容疑者のどっちかのものだったからなんだよね。
Okay.
この2人に
One of these two? What does that even mean?
そこにどんな意味があるのか、それを知るためにもこれがどっちの動機かを
Oh yeah, I guess them, I guess.
ねえ、みんなはどう思う？星ちゃんが持ってたのはどっちの動機だと思う？
Okay. The only video that Ryoma had, was it Kaito's or Maki's? I should know the answer. I feel like Kaito maybe. No, wait, I had Kaito's, that's right. I forgot about it. Then it has to be Maki's then.
そうだ。
If I had Kaito's, then it has to be Maki's, yeah.
春川さんの同期ビデオだ。
Yeah. I forgot that I had Kaito's.
あれ、なんでわかったの？さてはサイハラちゃんが持ってる同期ビデオって桃田ちゃんのだったんでしょ。
Yeah, I basically revealed that I had Kaito's motive.
だから消去法で春川ちゃんを選んだんじゃない？
Not the process of elimination doesn't always say the most truth, but yeah, sure.
周一、そう。
その通りだよ。
それがどうしたの？星が私の同期ビデオを持ってたからって私が犯人ってことにはならないと思うけど。
やっと喋ってくれたね。それでいいんだよ。
Okay, so Maki has Ryoma's video.
俺が同期ビデオを持ち出したのはそうやって君に喋ってもらうためなんだからさ。
Okay, interesting strategy, Kokichi.
何それ？
さーて、二人とも準備はいいかな？そろそろ始めちゃうよ。
Okay.
自分が犯人じゃないなら相手こそが星ちゃんを殺した犯人だ。じゃあ極限の議論の始まりだ。死に物狂いで相手の化けの皮を剥がしてみろ。
ちょっと待てよ。何を勝手に。
ふざけたこと言ってんじゃねえ。どっちが犯人かなんて議論するまでもねえだろ。
Oh yeah, Kaito got angry that I got his video.
俺は犯人じゃねえからな。それだけは絶対に間違いねえんだ。
つうことは。
桃田くん待って。大間くんのやり方以外にも。
けど春川も犯人なんかじゃねえぞ。
How so?
は？
Yeah.
何言ってるの？まさかどっちも犯人じゃないとか言うつもり？
Yeah, how do you know?
そんなの今までの議論の意味が。今までの議論がどうした？俺も春川も犯人なんかじゃねえのは間違いねえ。
Okay, Kaito, do you know something that we don't know?
そんな気がすんだよ。
Okay.
なんとなく。
Sure?
ねえ、本当に何言ってるの？ 裁判の結果には俺ら全員の命がかかってるんだよ。
Yeah.
まさか君のただの勘なんかに俺ら全員の命をかけるつもりじゃないよね。
はっ、分かってねえな。こいつはただの勘なんかじゃねえんだよ。宇宙に轟く桃田カイトの勘だ。てめえらの命をかける価値は十分にあるぜ。
Okay, yeah, sure.
何それ。
Yeah.
めちゃくちゃですね。大間くん以上に理解不能です。
Yeah, no, I'm a bit confused. Yeah, what are you waiting for? What exactly are you waiting for, Kaito?
まさか本気じゃないよね。君ってそこまでバカじゃないよね。
いや、バカじゃないですかね。
And he's supposed to be the ultimate astronaut, by the way. Unless he actually knows a reason why, but like he has to point it out.
バカだバカ。
Yeah, sure. Okay, cool.
神ったバカそうだよ。
You know, I think Angie is an absolute batshit woman, but at the same time, I kind of like Angie a little bit more than before for some reason. It's like Angie is like at the beginning of the game, and even before I played this game, just looking at Angie, I was like, she's my least favorite character for by far. But the more that I listen to her, the more I'm like, she's weird. Actually, she's not. She's weird.
バカを連呼すんじゃねえ。とにかく俺もハルカーも犯人なんかじゃねえんだよ。
Okay, Kaito, yeah, but show us something.
絶対に間違いねえ。俺はハルカーを信じてるからな。
Okay.
信じる。信じるって、なんで根拠もなく信じられるの？
理由も根拠も関係ねえよ。誰が何と言おうと。
Okay, so Kaito, you just said that you have Maki's video, basically.
最終的には俺自身がどう思うかだろ。俺が信じられるかどうか、俺が信じたいかどうか。大事なのはそれだけだろ。
じゃあ本当に根拠はないのね。
Yeah.
100% ただの勘なんですね。
でも天子もその気持ちはわかります。だって天子も夢野さんを信じたいですもん。
Yeah, sure. Want to believe? Huh? Yeah, I think I understand that.
信じたいって気持ちだけで信じるのが美しい行為かもしれないけど、ただ学級裁判を根本から否定する発言だよね。
やっぱりバカだな。
Yeah, sure.
バカでもいいと思うよ。信じたい人を信じるのが一番だもん。
だからバカを連呼するなっつの。さすがに傷つくだろうが。
Yeah. It's true. That's not what a class trial is about. You're supposed to think logically. You can't let your feelings into it. It's absurdity. Total absurdity. But then again, that absurdity saved me before, right? Why? Why do you trust me, Kaito? I mean, no, wait. Why? Why do you trust me, Kaito? There's a chance that I'm the cult. I believe in you because I want to. I don't need a reason other than that. Do I need a reason? What? Isn't that what you believed in, Kaede? I mean, sure, I might get betrayed in the end, but If I worry about that, I won't be able to believe in the people I want to believe in. Believe in the me that believes in you, something, something, keep drilling, something, something. Girls are psychopaths, something, something. Tight skin suits. Yes. If I can trust my logic, maybe I should trust Kaito's feelings too. Yeah, it'll work out in the end, so...
僕も春川さんを信じてみるよ。え？桃田くんらしいよね。そうやってみんなを自分のペースに引き込んでさ。
Okay, sure, okay.
君まで何言ってるの？超高校級の探偵が根拠もなしに人を信じるの？
Yeah,
でも春川さんが犯人って根拠もまだないよね。
yeah, it's still, there
桃田
isn't.
くんが犯人って根拠もまだない。だったら僕は信じるところから始めてみるよ。まずは春川さんと桃田くんを信じてみる。
よく言った秀一。さすが俺の助手だぜ。
Okay, yeah, sure, whatever.
それに超高校級の探偵って言っても僕はただの助手なんだよ。
Okay, nice deflect, cool.
言ってなかったっけ？まだ一人前の探偵ですらない見習いなんだよね。
Yeah, sure.
でもさ、今の状況でどっちも疑わないで、どうやって真実にたどり着くつもり？
Yeah, that's the thing.
この状況をひっくり返す手がかりでもない限り、その二人が容疑者というのは変わらない。
繰り返せばいいんでしょ。
Okay.
そこのバカに恩を感じたわけじゃないし、そもそもかばってほしいなんて思ってなかったけど。でも、バカだからこそ切り開ける道もあるのかもね。
Okay.
だからバカって言い過ぎなんだよ。
Okay, yeah, sure, let's see what exactly happened.
何が言いたいの？
Yeah, what are you guys trying to set up?
言いたくなかったよ。でも、もう黙ってるわけにもいかないから。
Okay.
わかった。話すよ。
だから話すって何を？
私は昨日の夜時間に星と会ってるんだよ。
That's what I suspected, yeah. What?
昨日の夜時間に星くんと？
ということは昨日の夜時間はまだ星くんは生きていたんですか？
Oh, wait, no, with Ryoma? Wait. Wait, so with Ryoma? Wait.
私は昨日の夜時間に星と会ってるんだよ。
Wait. At nighttime? So after 10 p.m. he was still alive?
でも、犯行があったのって昨日の夜8時から夜10時の間のはずですよ。それは間違ってるんだよ。だって私は夜時間に星と会ってるからね。
その話が本当だとすると桃田君と春川さんだけを疑う理由はなくなるね。
そうだよね。その時間帯のアリバイがないせいで2人は疑われてたんだもんね。
Okay.
じゃあ俺と春川の疑いは晴れたってことだな。
No, I mean, you're still suspects, but it's... We need to hear what Maki is actually saying.
ふざけんな。さすがに今の発言を鵜呑みにできっかよ。
Yeah.
いくらなんでも都合の良すぎる。
A little bit too convenient, actually.
それに春川さんはどうして今になってそんなことを言うんですか？
Yeah, why did you wait?
そんなの決まってるよ。春川ち
I mean, yeah, Oma suddenly seems... Was that a lie? Did Maki lie to us? It's true, we don't have all the facts. But why would Maki say that now, all of us, of all times? Yeah, if I trust her innocence, I should believe her statement. But should I? Okay, intermission. Yeah, that's kind of interesting, I guess, really. Do you want to save? Yeah. That's kind of interesting. It's like... Okay, wait. Okay, intermission. Let's just leave it at that. Okay. Wait. Okay. So I guess this is a good time to wrap it up, basically. But I will continue maybe tomorrow or maybe next Thursday. I'll have to decide how do I like push it, basically. But yeah, it's getting interesting, at least a little bit. I feel like next Thursday is like a good... It's probably like a good continuation, basically, to continue the trial, so we can actually do the thing. So yeah, the trial is getting interesting. So Maki already kind of knows that this is that Ryoma was alive at 10 p.m. So that kind of hint at the beginning where it was like, yeah, the crime happened on the morning preparation, basically means that Angie is potentially the culprit, or Himiko as well. It goes back to Himiko and Angie a little bit, because they were the only ones at the gym, or maybe somebody else. But it's like, the thing is, specifically, it kind of implies that whomever was dealing with Ryoma at the time did probably have a struggle of some sort, because of the evidence that was left in the rooms, basically, and even in the windows and everything. It just means that there was some kind of struggle right there, basically. And it's like, the thing is, like, the only person that kind of comes to mind when it comes to those kind of bumps and dents is Gonta himself. It's like, who's strong enough to make that much amount of like damage onto properties and windows and like whatever the fuck? It's like, who exactly would it be at that point? You know, it's like, who else would it be possible to do that? It's like, it's either somebody who's strong enough, which is Tenko. It could be Tenko, or it could be Gonta, or even like a male. It could be Kaito himself as well. But it's kind of interesting in its own regard. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Okay, so we're gonna leave it like right here. We're gonna wait until next week for the next how do I put it, for the next part of the trial, so we can have more fun with it. Actually, I'm loving Danganronpa at the moment so much. I'm enjoying it so much that I'm actually I'm kind of licking it slowly. I'm kind of licking Danganronpa slowly. I'm kind of like, it's kind of like a very tasty ice cream that I take a lick from time to time, and it's just like, yeah, I just kind of like prefer to split the experience a little bit. Okay, so let's put it over here. Let's put, okay, where, three. Okay, let's put this. Okay. Okay, let's put it like this. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. It's getting interesting, actually. It's getting very, very interesting. So, yeah, the beginning of this trial was kind of easy compared to the last one. The other one was all about, like, goddamn, like, twists and turns, basically. And it's like, to some level, I don't know. This game feels very proper in nature. It doesn't feel as clear-cut and simple. And it feels like there's layers on top of the layers on this version compared to the other ones. And it definitely shows. So yeah, I kind of enjoy it, but part of me, I kind of like scratch my head a little bit every time when I see something of high detail. I sometimes kind of like go around and I'm like, maybe there's something, I don't know. There's always like, inspiration comes from everywhere, and it's like, I don't know exactly what causes these kind of games to be inspired and created, basically. So yeah, that's kind of the thing. So yeah. Okay. Okay. Man, I'm starting to love this game, actually. I'm starting to love this series by what it is. But yeah, basically what I'm trying to say as well is just like low-key, I love and hate otaku, the otaku circle. And the reason why I hate it is because I love it. And because I love it, I have to hate it as well. So that's kind of the thing a little bit. It's kind of like it's an inevitable wheel spin of balance and judgment in its own regard, basically. Because you love it, you're gonna hate it at some times, and because you hate it, you love it. And it's because you got your attention, basically. So yeah, it's weird. Specifically, it's very weird. Anyway, 2, 1, 3. Bam, bam, bam. I love this. I fucking love Danganronpa. Okay, anyway. So yeah, to wrap it up, we're gonna probably leave it for next Thursday for the continuation of the game. Hope you had fun. I definitely had loads of fun with this game. And it's like, that's kind of the thing that I love the most about this game in particular, is that I love analyzing facts, or like I love like going through everything and just being like, okay, this happened at 8:55 p.m. Kokichi left. Okay, sure. Shuichi Ganta Kokichi Kibo Korekiyu Tenkun Shirogane did that at 8. And it's like, I don't know, I kind of love investigating people, low-key. Like, low-key, it's kind of like for some fucking reason, part of me is just like, it loves like exploring people. It's like people are kind of like a temple that I kind of have to explore mentally. And it's like, sometimes a lot of people kind of feel a little bit like uncomfortable when that happens, but it's just like, for some reason, that's just kind of my nature, where it's just like, I just need to know what is actually happening inside of your head or something. Like, I want to get inside of your head. I want to know why exactly you have this behavior. I want to know exactly what the flavor of ice cream you have inside of your head. And it's like, yeah, maybe that's a little bit disrespectful for a lot of people, basically. and it probably is. So it's like to some level, I kind of had to stop myself to some level to be like, okay, I care about you, so so I don't want to discover everything about you, basically. Even though that's kind of like my ultimate sign that I'm very interested in a person, basically. It's like when I'm very interested in a person, I tend to scan them deeply and kind of like analyze their like there's I kind of tend to like both physically and psychoanalyze a person, basically, and emotional, and make a scan of make an analysis of their emotions, their likes, their dislikes, everything that makes them feel happy, everything that makes them feel sad, everything that makes them feel comfortable, uncomfortable. And it's like to some level, I feel like that can be like a very, very bad thing to do onto people that have no interest in you, because they can take it as a kind of like an offensive kind of thing, like a way of saying, yeah, fuck you. What the fuck do you want from me, basically? But it's like, it's my way of saying, yeah, I'm interested in you. But at the same time, it's like, I understand that it's like, sometimes it's not going to be very comfortable when people kind of like expose their insides onto me to some level. I was like, that's why I kind of personally, I kind of wished that back in the day I studied psychology or like something else. I don't know, some kind of like psychoanalysis, some kind of job that involved psychoanalysis or something. Like data, it's like data analysts, like criminology or like psychology or like, I don't know, something about those lines, about like scanning people and getting to know what is exactly going on with their brains and shit. Like actually, that's kind of the thing a little bit, and it's like, and that's kind of like the thing that I feel like that can be a very, very like threatening thing for a lot of people, because that's kind of within my nature, apparently. As like a lot of people can take it as an offensive to be like, hey, what's going on? Why the fuck are you scanning me? Are you trying to destroy me or something? It's like, no, I'm not trying to. I'm just interested. It's like, just because I'm interested doesn't mean that I'm going to like everything that I'm going to see inside of you, basically. So yeah, it's like to some level, as a person, I kind of ended up growing up into not scanning everything that people are saying, because if I do, I'm just going to inevitably make them suffer eventually. So yeah, that's kind of the thing a little bit. It's kind of tough, and I just kind of have to sometimes be like, hey, I love you, that's cool, but like I don't necessarily agree with everything that you're fucking saying. And it's like to some level, I kind of have to be like, I mean, yeah, I can. That's my weaponry, my psychological weaponry to defend against people, basically. And it's like, yeah, like I don't know how to put it, but I feel like if I'm under threat, I kind of have to use my personal weapons to kind of understand what's actually happening in the world, basically. And it's like sometimes kicks me in the ass, because sometimes that makes me realize things of the world that make me kind of depressed and make me kind of realize that not everything is neon lights about everything. It's like the more that I kind of understand how psychology and the world works, the more I kind of like look at neon lights with a little bit of a scoff, with a scoff shoulder, basically. The more that I understand how the world works, the more I scoff at like machine slots, or like the more I scoff at, I don't know, like certain media or something. The more I scoff at certain aspects of medicine, the more I scoff at the condition, like at people's excuses and the reasons for them to make media that is very destructive. And it just makes me think that it's just like, yeah, maybe it's just maybe a cannonball that is being shot to somebody else. And it's like, to some level, I kind of just end up just thinking to myself that it's like, yeah, well, the cannonballs are always being shot left, right, center, up, down, inside, outside, in the toilet, outside of the toilet, in the shitter, inside of a book, inside of everything. And it's like, and because of that, I kind of like have to be a little bit cautious over what specifically the leads are heading towards, basically. Like, not everything that is set in stone is truth. Not everything that is being told to people is exactly truth. Not everything that people say is exactly truth. And sometimes the reasons things are said and done are simply because there was some conditioning beforehand sometimes to make people behave in a psychological order in order for them to fall into a box specific for the convenience of individuals in particular. And it's like when you actually start looking at the world as an individual box, everything makes a lot more sense rather than just saying, "Oh, hey, fuck Mexicans, fuck Americans, fuck this, fuck that." It's like more of the time, what we're actually looking at is the will of individuals who are strong, who are economically, psychologically, spiritually more stable in order for them to do their will onto others by shaping specific cannonballs onto the face of people, basically. So it's like when once you kind of realize how the world actually is, I kind of like to some level have to stop romanticizing certain people, and I kind of have to love myself a little bit more as a consequence, because like that's kind of like the only solution that one has, the ultimate solution that one has in this entire world is to love yourself. And loving yourself doesn't always mean pulling the goose's neck 24/7, basically. So yeah, that's kind of the thing. So anyway, I want to leave it at that. Thanks so much for watching. If you did, I really appreciate you, and I'll see you maybe tomorrow, probably possibly tomorrow. So we'll see what happens. Have a good one. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. See you next Thursday for more Danganronpa.